How's everybody doing? Rebecca here yet?
Awesome.
Is Rebecca here yet? Where's Rebecca? That was an awesome picture of her kids just all over the floor. I thought that was like 5 kids on the floor. For a second, I'm like, how many kids do you have? I realized it's just one baby.
Just the one.
Just the one. Yep. That looks like my household. I do have 4 kids. What's up, guys? Sasha's here. Roxy. Trudy. What's up? Kate, Guy, Kirsten, Natasha's here. Danielle, Lone's here. Lorraine. What's up, Megan? Sharon, Sasha, Kirsten. What's up, guys? Oh, someone's got some feedback to read you guys. I will allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay. I'm going to give it another minute. Looks like everybody's here. No, actually, they don't need to. So what is going on? How's everybody doing? This is such an exciting time for me, guys. Like, you have no idea. Like, oh, man, look at this Red Bull, water, Coca-Cola. It's got the lighter there, ready to have a cigarette just in case things get really messy. Pen full, open notes. Natasha, you are ready. That's awesome. I am so, you guys, like, no, man, I am so blessed right now to be staring at all of your beautiful souls and all of your beautiful faces. Just to share this information with you guys is like my life's purpose. Like, this is, Shannon, what's up? This is, I can't get my camera to go, so I'm just going to leave for a second and log back in. Yeah, sure, no worries. Get back out, get back in. Super pumped. Absolutely. Your guys' lives are about to change, guys. Like, this is nuts. I usually do this for this price, somewhere between 15 minutes and half an hour. So what we're going to do together is a little different. Okay, it's a little different. It's a bit unique. I aim for 2 hours. Okay, I aim to have this completely sorted out in 2 hours, but it will, after I do everything that I need to do, we may have some questions. You guys may want to try on some new stuff. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to stick around and hang around so that people can get their questions answered. And then that way, you know, because things are going to come up. We're gonna talk about some stuff. I showed you guys a spreadsheet, and then I showed it to you again, all color coded. And this time it had like a cool little legend to it. So you guys were probably trying to figure that out and be like, oh my God, why is mine in the red? Why is mine in the black? What's going on? I'm getting nervous. What's wrong with my name? This is what we're going to do with this. So basically there are 2 sort of points, or two really big parts of this timing that we do together. One is the telling of the story. Okay, I know I've introduced numbers to you guys. You guys may have seen them before. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how they're affecting you guys. And you guys are going to see each other in your guys' numbers and see your numbers in other people. And it's going to be the most wonderful, beautiful training experience ever. Usually one-on-one, it can get a little, you know, serious because we're going deep inside of your life. In this case, it's going to be a lot easier to go in there because we have the support of all of us. We have all of us here in a very super spiritual, very private, like sacred space between us all here that I'm so blessed to be invited into. So you guys do me such a huge honor by doing this. I swear, you guys have no idea. I fulfill my life's purpose by providing you guys value and helping set you guys up for success. I know what this is. I know exactly what this is. This is like science. This is like an actual finite technology. And people look at it like it's spiritual. That's fine. People look at it like it's just, you know, Mickey Mouse. That's fine. I understand what numbers show up in. And if you're like awed and like, you know, just in awe of what is about to be revealed once you feel it, you're on the same track. I like found this stuff about 4.5 years ago, and it just rocked the way that I looked at humanity and existence. And I was like, wait a second. So you're telling me that my birthday and my name know everything about who I am, whether I like what it says or not. It knows who I am. It knew that inside of my numbers, it saw that I had like a lethal addiction problem, a lethal self-sabotage, a desire to do business, a reality where I couldn't do business, keep a job or a relationship. Like, all of that said that in my name. So I'm like, fine, let me change it. And then like 3.5 years later, everything changed. And I know that's kind of like, oh shit, well, I want to hit 6A this month, and I want to do something big this month. So I'm expecting that you guys are going to go all full force, all out, and you're absolutely not just going to take this new name and sit in your basement wondering, well, so what happens now? it's going to have an effect on you if you use it. I can give you the key. We can make the perfect key for the car you've got, that vehicle that you need. But if you're not going to drive the thing, then I don't believe it's going to work for you. I really don't. You can't expect the success to come knocking on your door. You have to go out there and do stuff. And you guys are like, I know. I invested. I bought the Enagic. I put my everything on the line. So if we're going to go this far, can you imagine now it's the limiting beliefs, the self-destructive thoughts, the, oh, I can't go live, or I don't know what to say, and no one's going to listen to me, and this is what's going to stop us? Like, it's crazy to think. Like, I mean, that's what you guys are all saying. Afraid of being seen. I don't deserve success. I'm not worthy of it. What were you thinking when you decided to spend $12,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 on a system and continuously pay every month? Of course you guys have it in you. Of course you want leadership. Of course you want to create business. It's just a matter of making sure that you show up for the right party in the right outfit. I could go to the best party invited. I was invited out to, this is like last year, Count George's birthday in Vegas, and I couldn't go because I didn't have the money to go. And I was just like, oh shit, I just went to Balage's stag, and his wedding was really expensive, and now I can't really, my checkings and my savings, and it's going to take me some time to, and I was trying to come up with excuses because I wasn't able to come to that party. The same thing we want to go. We want to be successful. We want to show up wealthy, and yet we're stuck dealing with this and that and what our mom said to us and how we were dealing with things as a kid and all of the crap that sort of builds up a story around us. This is the technology that allows us to put inventory so you know where that thing is and why it's there. And then, most importantly, the second part of what we do is fixing it, using the technology, actually moving your name into a vibration of wealth where people know you, like you, trust you, where there's a feeling of you actually showing up there to be there tomorrow and not just a fly-by-night, overnight business, this feeling of long-term, let's build it, and let's actually have some passion and some fun. This shows up in numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen for most of this, and I want to share this, and I want to show with you guys what's going to happen in here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up this screen. You guys have seen it. And what we'll do is we're going to focus in on just the first half. So as I said, there was two parts to this, okay? So the first part is going to be right up to here, okay? So basically your birthday and your name. This is like really critically important. Please, I know that I've said this like 1,000 times, but if you just check these, just make sure, okay, and put them in the chat or unmute yourself or something, and you let me know if any of this does not show up right. This is the name I want on your birth certificate, okay? So in certain cases, there were some really messy ones, like Natasha had a weird passport situation, rice paper birth certificate, and I'm like, God bless India. That's just the way they do it out there, okay? So then what else? We had an adopted name, okay? So there are, and then this one was a little interesting. Vanessa, I didn't know if that was birth name or if this was the name you had, because this is the name you use for your Facebook profile, not for your business name. Your Facebook name doesn't show up Vanessa Brown. That just shows up first and last name. So I think I need to get a little clearer on my communication, but you guys can correct me as we go along, okay? Part one is all learning about how these numbers actually show up. So I've color-coded this, so in case you guys are trying to figure out, well, what's the rhyme and reason to this, you see on this side, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I think there's, what is it, 20, 22 doesn't show up, but it's there. It's also a purple number, whatever. So the numbers are going to correspond to these two columns. The reason I did this is so that when I look at Linda or Roxy, let's say, I know she's got an 8 number in her name, and it equals out to an 8. I have Sky here. I have Sasha here. I've got Natasha's life path. See, I know based on blue that I've got four different people showing up with 8 in a very powerful part of their life, okay? When I see the purple one, I know that that's going to be like a 9 number. This column isn't relevant. I need to come up with 2 sets of colors because, as you can see, I've borrowed colors from each other. So you guys may get confused. I promise I'll try to not get confused. So these 2 columns are going to all relate to what number out of the 1 to 9 you are. Then these numbers, these ones here, are all whether or not they're balanced. This name that you're born with, I'm not too concerned if it's balanced or not. You may be, because this is your life and this is the story you've been living. So for you, this could potentially be the qualifier as to why you just can't get stuff together. And you got to change in that, okay? we're not changing legal name changes. This is not the place to change your name legally. So just take a spiritual promise to Bobby that you will not go into your local names office or government or however you guys change your name, people, and change your name legally. We will do that. There are dates to do things like that. There are reasons why we don't change them legally up front. So we're just going to leave that to the side. This is where you guys start. This is the very first vibe that you ever get in life. And this is what it shows up in. There's power in this, whether it's balanced or not. Whether it shows up, like the good numbers would be blue, purple, green, and then the more problematic ones will be black, red, and yellow. Okay, so we'll basically see those there at the bottom here when I show you guys. If you get confused, I promise it'll get easier and it'll get more clean as we go through. But this is not the total end-all be-all. I want to show you guys what a chart looks like. So I just did one for someone today, Nicole, and this is what a personal chart looks like. Okay, so we'll just take a look. Maybe we'll go and find Serena's so we can just take a look and see what your guys' specific range. Just go all sheets. And let's take a look and see if I can find it inside of here. So there you go. This is good old Serena's, your fearless leader, okay? So this is her chart. She's got a first name, a middle name, a last name. Each one of them break down. It adds up to another name. Then she uses one, and then she took a letter there. And now she's also got a birthday. So there's all different types of information that show up here. If we take a look back, I'm just gonna go back to our group session here. You can see that we're gonna see one of them, we're gonna see two of them, and we're gonna see three of them. So we're gonna see some stuff, and we're gonna see your birthday. We're not gonna take a look at your middle name. We're not gonna take a look at your middle to last name, your like the individual married name or maiden name. Adopted name, one name to the next. It all just breaks down to what was the first name your first time and date stamp. Okay, we got a live one. Boom, that's her name. This is your birthday, and this is who you are. And then from there, you get nicknames, short versions, first name, last name. Then there's this whole social media thing, and suddenly there's a whole new area of places to exist. We exist digitally on this little device, where it's like, oh, sweet, we're not going to share with everybody the crap in our lives. We just, pose for the selfie and make sure everyone sees the good stuff. So I get a chance to go in and see the real deep stuff. People are like, oh, man, this is crazy. So I appreciate your guys' patience with me. I understand that this is a very, very sacred feel. I'm just going to take a look here. Some guys messaging, Vanessa's messaging, cool. So I'm just going to quickly close this off so we don't get people beeping in on us while we're doing this. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see what happens when you guys get a chance to see each other's numbers. Now, there are more numbers here. We're gonna go through 1 to 9 of them, and then we're gonna basically see ourselves in them. This will be a very enlightening experience because when I get a chance to see a 145, 145, 415, 145, these numbers keep appearing for certain people. So when I talked to Faith or Danielle, right, and we look at the names that you and Kristen and Shannon have, you guys are all gonna relate. Okay, there are going to be people here like, hey, I saw these numbers. I know these numbers as well. How about someone who shows up with a 6, a 2, and an 8, and then there's a 6 or an 8 and a 6 and a 2 and an 8 really here in Lorraine's numbers. She has it in her birthday, whereas Roxy's got it in her name. So you guys can see that there are going to be some similarities between numbers that show up inside of your birthday, that also show up inside of your names. And people ask, okay, so what makes it balanced? What makes the name actually work good? If the vowels plus the consonants equal the total, and the total is either an 8 or a 6, it's balanced for either family, business, love, long-term, wealth, okay? So this is the secret. This is basically what I do. This is what I do. As a numerologist, I look inside of your chart, and I look to see, is the name you're using actually going to take you to business? Or is it going to take you into a fight? Is it going to take you into service to others? Is it going to take you into like mega service to others? Are you just going to be out there pleasing people? Are you going to be out there working really hard, right? Or are you going to out there actually do something really powerful? Or maybe you're going to go and have a really strong, like this is a really powerful number for family. Like Loan's numbers for family is like powerful. And he messaged me the first, and I'm like, okay, so who is this? And I quickly looked at his profile, and I noticed he got kids. He likes to post pictures with his kids. Then I look inside of his chart, and I'm like, hey, wait a second. Look at this. I got the same path as this guy. My Bobby Perihar, before it was aligned, was the same number as this. So when he gets a chance for some initials, he's going to choose the same initials that I have. because he's running the same balance, the same problem. I'm like, man, I know what that feels like. So I can relate to that. I can absolutely connect to that and be like, I'm not alone. When we're not alone, suddenly the table lifts a lot easier. I bought a TV and it was too big to lift. And then I was like, shit, I gotta get someone in here. And my wife was like, hey, I can help you. I'm like, you really can't. The TV weighs almost as much as you do, but let's try this anyway. And then she goes to it and she couldn't. And I'm like, okay, so I called someone in to help me. And that feeling was like 10 minutes later. He's like, man, 5 minutes later. He's like, this is the easiest money I've ever made. I'm like, thanks, bro. I just needed an extra set of arms. But that feeling is that when we're matched and we have power in community, that we get a chance to move further and faster and things get a little bit easier. The pains are a little bit easier to deal with. The challenges are not so hard. We feel that rush, that feeling of, I could do this. If you're going to do this, I got an accountability partner. Let's rock this. You guys may be looking at each other or looking at your lists right now and think, there are some serious, like, you want an accountability partner, you look for the right name path, or you look for the right life path, or you look for the right path in there. This is the numbers you're really going to want to connect with, the people in the same colors, and also the people who have the same numbers. And you're going to we're going to introduce you guys to each other here as we go through this. So super, super stoked. So if there are any questions, feel free to, let me know. You can unmute yourself. I'm just going to close this window down a little bit so that we can see just like this. And then that way I can also take a look at and see if anybody's got questions. So what I'll do is I'm just going to leave it like this. Okay, cool. I've got my chat open. And if there are any questions, you guys let me know. But what we're going to do, someone's unmuted. What's up?
It's Danielle. Hello, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you. So my Faith Danielle Rowland, that's not actually on my birth certificate because it was changed prior to that. Does that matter?
Let's put it this way. If this doesn't align with you and you want to run with this vibe, then we may need to have our when we do, I'm going to give you guys special rates to hang out with me. So you're not going to book on my site to hang out with me because you guys paid to be here. I'm going to give you guys a discount to work with me personally. So if this doesn't vibe and you're like, no, I need to go deeper, then we'll do that. If you want me to change your name right now, we can, but I just don't have space to hold too much. And if we talk about you as if you're two people, this can get confusing, but it absolutely is relevant. So I would ask for the name that was first stamped before the world started whipping you around with adoption this and marriage that. My parents got married when I was young and this happened there. So if that name wants to change, it can. But I favor that one. Even if it was just a day old, even if it was just a few minutes, I still favor the first one that you came into. But totally up to you. Do you want me to change it right now?
No. Just wanted to check with you that was right.
Perfect. Okay, so if it doesn't have as much feel for it, it's because there is more to you than just this, okay? So we'll be able to go through that. Other than that, okay, if there are any questions, absolutely just pop them in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself. I can't see when people raise their hand. I can only see it once you've raised your hand on your picture. So it would be nice if you just dropped it in the chat or just feel free to unmute yourself and interrupt me. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the numbers as they exist inside of your guys' chart, okay? So when I do this, I look at the numbers from 1 to 9. You may, I see here, we've got Kirsten's a life path 1, Vanessa's a life path 1, and Trudy's a life path 1, okay? So this will be supremely important for these three. However, you see 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There's a lot of leadership quality in your guys' team. October, Rebecca, like absolutely sleeper leader. Okay, this is a really powerful feel. Lone as well, okay? Trudy as well. Myself, I'm in my 1 right now. When we look at these numbers inside of your birth month, your birthday, and your birth year, I write them North America style. You guys obviously notice this. This is what happens when you have a life path. Your birthday is the beginning stamp of the time that you're alive. So you go far in life, and we're all going to live to 3,000 years old and live super powerful lives. Maybe not 3,000, might be a little bit too long, but enough to get some serious power happening inside of our lives. Okay, well into our hundreds. Let's put it that way. Technology, right? But there are 3 moments that define chapters in our lives. The first moment is from 0 to 27, more than a moment. The chapter, the first time zone of your life. You're learning, you're growing, you're becoming a human being. You're like trying to grow, trying to learn how to, go to the bathroom by yourself and then speak up for yourself and then obey and then, learn and then read and school and academics. And then there's this puberty thing. And now suddenly we want to have sex for the first time and we want to now get in love and we want to be married and have kids. We want to find a good career. And then some of us have at least start thinking about that. If you're the one, you may not be thinking about marriage and kids before 27. So let's just put it that way. If you're born in October or if you're born in January, chances are it may be a later concept that says, I'll get there when I get there. Right now I'm going to enjoy my independence, because the one is all about being independent. These are leaders. They're the people who want to stand up for themselves and do something powerful in their world, okay? So when we see ones that are showing up inside of your life path, we're going to get a feel of independence, confidence. And for Serena, when you watch this, I'm not sure if she's even with us because she's at the field. These are the people that want to break away and do their own thing, at least at some point. Maybe some other of you guys do want to do that, but the more one you have, the more potent that feeling of leadership and connection is in there, okay? So we're going to see that from 0 to 27, your month shows up as a value that connects with your birth path. So we have an original color, right? Like the one that shows up like this, in this color. So you got a color there based on how I basically did this. I was like, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11. Perfect. So I just basically color coded them based on how Google Sheets decided to list out the colors. So there's no rhyme or reason. It's just enough for me to see what's going on, okay? But when we see numbers that show up in the first part of this, your character is growing based on this value. Your character is growing if you're in the 1 based on that value of independence. When we see the 27 to 55, nobody's got the 1 in their middle of their chart except for me. I'm the only one who shows up with 1 between 27 and 55. So when I teach about the 6 and then I go into the 1, I'm stepping into my leadership at this point. When we see 1s and you're in a name that doesn't show up in red, that doesn't show up in blue, purple, or green, see how these 1s are here? You guys are safe from this, okay? This is not for you. If you have a red name or a black name and you see 1s in your name, there is a chance that your leadership is not acknowledging itself. Your sense of ego is not taking advantage of who you are. That you are going through a feeling where other people recognize you, but you're not recognizing yourself. People think that you're awesome or that you want to do it, but then there's this part of us that feels like insecure, feeling like I don't know who I am, or I can't stand up, or I can't figure it out, or I won't acknowledge myself. My name, Bobby, is this way. Okay, so if you see me out there in the world, I went to the Freedom, the Blueprint back in July. People are like, oh my God, Bobby, you're like a celebrity. And I'm like, oh my God, please, I'm just a little Canadian. Just stop, please. I'm okay. Just take a picture. It's all good. Like, can I get a picture? And I'm like, man, it felt super strange to think, man, I need to get with it. I have to understand what I'm doing for people and the amount of value and service that I can actually provide. Like the ones that are in negative, there's a growing curve to actually be confident in what you're doing for other people's lives. Okay, so that's just some little bit of a tip. Every number has got the positive and the negative to it. So, we're even if it's balanced, even if it's imbalanced, there's a good side and a bad side to everything. Just because the number shows up negative, red, or imbalanced doesn't mean you're negative, you're in the red or imbalanced. And just because it shows up powerful doesn't mean you are either. It just means that this is the direction that your name is going into, and do you want that direction? What we're going to do after we finish talking about this, we're going to scoot over to talk about this. This is really powerful. This is where we start to use the technology. And just so you guys know, this is a sanctioned list of vibrations that will work for you guys that I believe in. So we have vowels plus consonants equal the total. Okay, so there we go. So vowels plus consonants equal the total. So please, I'm giving you guys the key to the vibration of this. Please do not try to go line up things on your own. There is a finer nuance. I'll tell you something. You could have superstar in math and superstar in basketball. They're not the same thing. So you could do a lot of damage by saying, oh, sure, let me just, it adds up. Why not? There's a reason why there's a few options. There's a reason why we're going to stick by for questions after. And there's a reason why you get a chance to actually get my intuition to think this would probably be the one based on what you're doing with your life and who you are and what you stand for. I just personally speaking, there are some numbers at work that I'm not going to use. There's some numbers that show up there that you may keep. So is there a rhyme or reason? I'd like to think on the personal level, in the group mentality, we really want to feel it. We really want to feel into that, okay? And if you have any questions, absolutely we'll go into it. But from 0 to 27, now we're looking at the day. Now, the day that you're born is going to show up as a value of what are you doing on this planet? Like, what is the time that you're going to raise kids, you're going to build business, you're going to do things for others. This is your daylight, the daylight of your life. The dawn and the coming to the rise of noon in your life is where we're growing. And then the moment that actually like the sun sits high, it's this flat line, we're going to basically like plateau for these few years where we want to help other people grow, help other entrepreneurs grow, raise our kids, take care of our parents. We want to definitely help the new and the old generation. We're the doing phase. Okay, so this is where most of us are. Are there any people inside of the third part of their life? It doesn't look like it. 67 is bordering on it. 68 is bordering on it. But other than that, you guys still have some time, absolutely, in the second rounds of your life. The third round, okay, this is where the year comes in. And the year of your life, it shows up as the wisdom, the decline, the coast. And what we want to make sure is that you coast and you glide into the fade, or you go off into the fireworks instead of bumbling and fumbling down with health, debt, dependency, and suddenly I'm decrepit and I can't even hear or think straight, and I'm in a home and I'm taken by the system, and the horror of not having the human quality of our life in our third area of it. It would be very, very difficult. But this is where you teach and you grow and you help others grow, and you basically show up for people in a wisdom. So you got a learning, a doing, and a wisdom stage in your life. These are the three sections of them, okay? And then they're all based back on the original number that we see. So we're going to go through these now, and we're going to talk about the positives and the negatives of them. This stuff we can't really change. This stuff we can. The technology exists. What we're going to do in our time together is we're going to take this and we're going to turn it into things like this or things like this, where everyone is lined up instead of, red, black, blue, whatever, like, all of these reds and yellows and even the whites. Some of you guys are perfectly set. If you have a TBD around your business name, oh man, you just made my job so much easier, because you guys are going to ask me, well, how do I change my name on Facebook? And Facebook won't let me change my name. Couple of tips for you. If you need to change your name, like let's say Kristen wants to change it to a new name, you'd be best to change the name here and add it, and then slowly take off one of these names at a time so that Facebook won't decline your name change if you want to keep your page. I would recommend that, or you can start a new page. I know that's like, oh my God, that's like my stomach is turning. If your stomach is turning at the thought of starting a new page or fixing an ad account or starting a new ad account or getting another ad that was winning that's shut down, guys, it's part of business. That just lets me know that you're probably within your 6 months or within your 12 months, because it's like the first time it's happening to you. Talk to somebody like Jang or Sherman or Clint or someone who's been doing this and their ads get shut down and they just know it. It's just part of business. It's just one of those things. We don't get attached to that stuff. But the fact is that these guys here are sitting pretty, because you guys are about to start a page and you get to start right. Okay. You may also want to change your name somewhere along the path. So that's why we don't do our names legally changing them. Okay. We're going to take a name on a try-on phase, and you can take a name in a couple of cool places. And there's a couple of places you do not take them. Okay. So a couple of new places that you would take them. Your Facebook business page, hello. If anybody's here not to build an Enagic business or a gas business, then hey, that's fine. Hopefully you really love what you hear. But I'm found numerology because of business. It wasn't because of a passion for spirituality. My passion for spirituality is what made me take this and veer off of my Enagic drive and basically leave my leaders to build my business while I go and help everybody else build their businesses. And I get this vision in my head from Zig Ziglar. If you want anything in life, help enough people get it. Help enough other people create success in their life, and you'll have whatever you want in yours. That's loosely paraphrased, but the reality is very potent for me. I was like, that's true. How dare I deserve anything that I'm not getting or helping someone else? Someone unmuted. You need to have a comment? No? Okay, cool. That was an accident. Fine. Whatever. Don't talk to me, man. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to take a look at where...
Bobby?
Hey, what's up?
I'll just quickly unmute since there was like a tiny pause there. I actually do have a business page name. It's Shannon Harris is my business page name as well.
Okay, cool. So that's fine. What we'll do is we'll quickly put that in there, and that won't be too hard to change. We'll just put an initial on there to make sure. Anyone else, let me know. So
okay, thanks.
Where you can use this, right? Business page, that'd be a pretty good idea. Your Facebook profile, absolutely. You exist as this. People see you. You're existing online in a space, and this is where social media comes into play. Email, okay, your Zoom handle, the way that you show up on websites, the way you show up on your call display. How about your signature? Okay, so there are cool places where you can show up in the world that aren't going to rely or expect you to change your name legally. Some of you may have natural alignments, like Royston has a really natural alignment. Megan has a really powerful alignment. You may not want to change your name. Danielle may not want to change your name after she hears what I have to say about this. But people like Vanessa, Rebecca, Kate may not want to change her business name, but her personal name will absolutely want to change. I know that the black shows up as severe challenge, but there are powerful black names available for you that you could use that are, like in the black, but absolutely just because it's a severe challenge doesn't mean that it's not successful. It just means that it's going to be a severe challenge. So some of you may be like, man, I'm missing the boat. I can't figure this out. What am I missing? It could be the fact that this is overshooting with a name that's really, really high. Whereas the names you don't want to change are things like driver's license, passport, your PTNs, and your social securities and all the government stuff, like the bank stuff, credit cards. They are so important and absolutely important. So you may want to change it at some point. If we do, there are dates to change it. There are ways to change it. We want to make sure that some time has passed and you're already running with the vibe before you decide to tell the government who you are. What happens in 12 months if you decide that you've grown? Like all you cats are hitting 6A and turning into tigers, okay? Like kitty season is over. And now it's tiger season, hidden tiger, crouching dragon, whatever it is. That feeling is like, let's go and actually do something with the world. I got a team of leaders now. We're trying to motivate them to build their own organizations. It happens naturally. So imagine in 2 years, you'd be glad you didn't change your name if you put it into a starter kit vibe. So please just do not consider legal name changes while we're in this session. We're just talking about stuff that's like, sure, why not? Let's just change that, see what happens. Worst case scenario, we start a new business page. We're not worried about that, okay? So we're gonna look back now at the numbers. We talked a little bit about number one. On the very positive side, these people want to follow these people. They want to follow ones because ones are like, I'm going. I don't care if you follow me or not. That's enough confidence for someone to be like, well, come on, I'm going to follow them. Like they seem to know where they're going. So that one wants to show up with leadership. On the really extreme negative side, it's either lack of self or overbearing sense of self. That feeling of, overconfident. I'm too good for this, or I'm too good for you, or I'm going to be selective or independent. But chances are they don't really care about what you think sometimes because they're more focused on their own motive. I know for me, I used to care a lot about what other people thought. And then as soon as 2010 came around, for some reason, and I didn't know numerology, by the way, I was like, no, I don't care no more. I'm going to do what I got to do for me. Self-love, man. I got to self-love myself. I got to take care of who I am. Otherwise, I'll never be happy in love or in life. I'm going to just keep on attracting people who don't treat me good. But I recognized I wasn't treating myself good. I had this number in there that was eating me up inside and threw out my name. It was such a disaster. I'm glad nobody has that number. I think some people do. Where is it? Someone had it. I know that Kate Crewcamp is going to have a very similar vibe, but someone else had a 527 or a 257. If it was in there, I'll see it again as we go through. But man, that's problematic. And I still have this. I still have this vibe. But the reality is when I hit 27, I was like, nope. I don't care. I'm a leader. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to grow. I'm going to go into my own direction and do what I got to do to be me. And it started the journey of me stepping into power and stepping into the man that I deserve to be, the man that's going to have a family and own his family and definitely raise these kids and not be uncertain about himself and shaky in my voice or in my intention. No, even if I'm wrong, I'm going to be wrong. Well, so what? People are wrong all the time. So what? I'll be wrong. Like, oh my God, what's the big idea, right? The feeling of me learning. Great. So I know that one shows up in my life. Now, if there are any questions about these numbers, we're absolutely welcome to open themselves up. But in terms of the negative ones, negative sense of self, inability to recognize the self, like that feeling of like works too hard for others but wants to do what's right for you, this feeling of the -1 can wreak some serious damage and havoc inside of our lives, especially for numbers like this one, but powerful. Okay, so we're going to look at the number 2 now, and we're going to see, do we have any life path 2s? We do. Shannon, Lorraine, that's it for life path 2, and then Vanessa, Rebecca, and Rachel, and then also 11s. You guys are also 2s as well. Okay, you just hold Novembers. We're also 2s as well. Okay, so if you have the 11, it's the human version of you. Okay, so as we see, and we'll talk about that when we get to the top, but pay attention for us that have the 11s in our chart. So when we see 2s in our chart, the one, and we're taking this concept of existence and we're moving it through spaces of different color. Existence, same intention, but now this time, instead of the 1 for the self, we take out 1, we put in 2, and the 2 is going to stand for partnership. It's going to, I mean, and it's kind of, you know, you're logically thinking, well, 1 is 1, 2 is 2. So 2 means I work together, I work with someone, I do this with someone else, I don't do this alone. These are my partners, my friends, the people who want to work with me. They're, in terms of positive stuff, they don't want to take credit. They'd rather, like, you know, big up the person inside of their team. They'd rather, oh no, it was all you. No, of course. And that feeling is like very, very everybody win-win. Okay. Good conversationalists. These people want to talk back and forth. We have life path 2s. We got people born in February, born in November. We have also people born on the 2nd. Where else? Born on the 11th. And yeah. So we have powerful numbers for 2 inside of our charts, guys. These are coaches. These are the people who want to help you. They want to work with you. Sure, I'll be on a call. Yeah, no worries. I'll help you out. What did you have a question with? The feeling of a 2 wants to work with someone else. When you see them happy and successful because of you, it's a feel good, okay? The problem with the 2, this is a tough one because I deal with this every single day, is that we push ourselves to the side and our sense of identity is based on how my wife's treating me. If she's mad at me and my world is upside down, I'm like, no, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to be for you, and I want to help you, and oh my God. And if she's mad at me, I'm like, oh, everything's bad. I can't, I don't want to do anything, and I'm so sad because my me is like dependent on how she perceives me. So she gave me the cold shoulder. She's not being nice to me. It feels like my world is over. And that's a difficult place to navigate through because we're not taking ourselves as seriously as we should. We're out there trying to please people. So if you've got that number in your chart, you know, I mean, like, what about Roxy? She's got 11 and then another 2. She's going to be very loyal and absolutely cares about the partnership, absolutely wants to just find it and get it and have it. But that 2 makes a really good friend, but it also makes a lack of sense of self that can be easily dismissed for the help to others. So it's like, oh, I wanted to do something. No, I don't. It's all good. No, it's just someone's here. How can I help you? How can I serve you? And then my own motives get squished to the floor. So it's absolutely, I mean, you know, every number is good. Every number's got a challenge. But when we see it inside of the like a red, if you see it inside of a purple, this doesn't apply to you. If you see it inside of a red, okay, super self-sacrifice, like absolutely wants to just take care of the other person. Lorraine, okay, who else has this? Vanessa has this. These people will jump over things and put themselves into harm's way to help you, okay? They want to help you no matter what, even if they're going to catch debt or it's going to hurt them. How about poor Rebecca or Rachel? There's another person, Rebecca here, Vanessa here. Like, the feeling is like the 9 is absolute mastery of the 2, which says, let me help, let me do this, let me take care of you, I'm going to take. It's completely selfless, whereas the 1 is all about the self. The 9, where we're going, is all about the universe and the care of others and humanity. So there's an escalation of sense of self that you know goes through enlightenment or nirvana. Where at the 9, we get a chance to see the globe and feel attached and part of it. Whereas at the 1, we're like, forget the world. It's me against the world here. I got to do what I got to do right now. So with the 9 attached to a 2 will mean universe over partnership. So the care that these people will run into fire to save someone, and they will forget to run out of the fire out after themselves. Okay, so when we see like 2s with uneven spaces, it can be oh man, you'll be Bobby's best friend, but you probably won't be like Lorraine won't be Lorraine's best friend. Okay, that feeling of Rebecca, she probably won't be that powerful for herself. She's going to be way more powerful for others, and that can be, you know, a long walk off a short cliff because the problem there is like, we have to step into our power, and we're worthy of this and we're going to have success and all this stuff. But if we're not able to take things, if we're just keep on helping other people, the two can come back to bite us in the bum. So there's a really powerful lesson in there. With a strong two, like look at Sasha's two. That's a wonderful two. Who else had a pretty powerful two? Lorraine's got a powerful two inside of her birthday. I can't wait to talk about that. We'll have to reach the 8 before we can truly appreciate this number. But there's a freaking power inside of Royston's number, this feeling of I'm going to help someone and it's going to lead into business. I'm going to do something. I'm going to work with someone. I care about them. There's love inside of here, and absolutely we want to make money through it. So there's power inside of these numbers when they show up balanced with a 6 or an 8 at the end of them, okay? So cool stuff. Very, very powerful things. What about the 3s? Okay, so you have Life Path 3 in Paul. Megan is also a 3. Natasha shows up with a 3 as well in her name. These are the sweethearts, the artists, the creatives. December, where are we? Do we have a March? Nope. How about we have a 1974? We also have another 74. That's it. Okay, so the 3s show up with like love and enjoyment and social. They bring the social to the social media. So if you guys are, and some of you guys have this, okay, the pretty ones, the dashing men, the one who wants to keep the haircut nice, and to make sure all the dress and the outfit looks super sexy, and that feeling of never skipping, spa day. The feeling of the 3 wants to enjoy and wants to have fun right now. Okay, so these 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3, they are junior. There are 3 sets: junior, intermediate, and advanced. And then there's mastery, which goes a little bit further. So 4. Let's just say there's 4 sets. The first set is focused on the self, the enjoyment, the present. It wants to know that things are going to be okay. And it wants to either serve itself right now with the 1, serve the other right now with the 2, or the 3 just wants everything to be okay. Doesn't want to worry about age. These people do not want to get older. They want to look young, feel young. They'll probably date younger people. They'll feel aligned to youth themselves. They won't want to admit their age. Okay, so there's a value in there of not getting older and of staying super sweet and very social, very charming, and absolutely a very lovely person to be around aesthetically, and they want to make you feel good, and at the party they're just charmed. Oh, look who's here. Oh my God, I'm going to go say hi. And that feeling is that inside of the 3. They just are optimistic. And then when we start to run out of they got tats, okay, they got tattoos, okay, they're absolute, like we got like powerful people inside of these numbers, okay? Then the positive qualities start to dwindle. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. The 3s don't take themselves seriously. Other people don't take 3s seriously. The 3s have problems with addiction. They also want to drink a lot. It's wine o'clock on every 45 minutes. That feeling of like, let's just have fun. I just want to go party. I don't want to think about my debt. I don't want to think about anything nasty or anything bad. La, 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 la. I just want to have fun right now. That feeling shows up in the 3. It can be a little naive in the name of optimism. Oh, that's okay. I know that person's going to rip me off, but maybe this time they won't. Maybe this time it's going to be okay. And that 3 just wants to invest in other people, even if it's not to their advantage. And that can happen because we're just like, well, it's okay. No, don't worry. They want to people please. They want to keep up the sake of appearance. Somebody unmuted.
Yeah, that's me, Natasha. Sorry. With what you just said about, someone's going to rip you off or so forth, but maybe not this time. That's typically me. I will still give the chances and see.
Yeah, well, look at that. There's a 3 in your name, a 3 in your
I've learned something there.
Lancaster, a 3 in the Keith Natasha Lancaster. You got a lot of sweetheart vibration within you, but the thing is that's frustrating you because look at your life path.
It does actually.
Look at your name, Natasha Lancaster. You work hard. So you're like, man, I know this isn't right. But you know what? The 3 inside of me is just going to let it slide anyway. It's all good. I'm just going to keep a smile on my face. And it'll work out in the end. Even if it doesn't, I'll catch the next one. But there's a lot of 3s in your chart. So this is a good hugger. If anybody sees this, you give her a hug, you're going to be like, oh, my God, this is like the love of my life. That feeling wants to enjoy. And so we're going to have a very powerful feeling. But the problem that I had with my 3s in my chart, I drank too much, I ate too much, I smoked too much, I played too many video games, I didn't take myself seriously, I just wanted to be a big kid. I'm like, I don't want to go to work, I just want to stay home. And that feeling is just want to enjoy. So we got to balance those things out. There's never anything wrong with getting your nails done, your hair done. Unless you're a dude, you probably don't want to get your nails done. Some dudes to get their nails done. No shame, no harm. But you want to stay manicured and absolutely very well done. There's no shame in that. Okay, you don't want to see yourself with ripped clothing or like stains on your shirt, that kind of thing. The threes want to show up nice and cut. Okay, when they're obviously imbalanced or like in a balance. So cool stuff. Also, guys, if you got a 3, don't forget about your hidden little secret talents. Like, you guys are creatives. Okay, there's a value of singing, dancing, cooking, enjoying, painting, playing with kids. Something that doesn't have to do with business. If you've got a 3 in your chart, put that on your business page. People need to know you, like you, and trust you. They're not just going to instantly do that on one story or 1 minute video. It's going to be an invite to look at your page and be like, who is this person? Do I like them? If I like them, I'm going to like it, and I'm going to keep seeing their stuff later. So there's a value in getting someone in your bucket and, consistently, organically advertising to them. The time you pay for them, if you're paying advertising, is getting them on your page to like you. So going for conversions and engagements, that's fine. I like to think the long-term game, and my leaders report back to me 3, 6, 9 months of watching. Then they come in and they buy their Enagic, and it comes in pretty quick. I watch you grew. I've been watching you. I see your journey, and I've been watching on the sideline. I'm ready to do it. It took me almost a year, so I'm not sure how long you guys were watching. Some maybe faster than others, but the reality is that if you get people, the 3s will have like karaoke night selfies, or we're going for ice cream with the kids, or like Sunday soccer days. And like, just nothing to do with business. There's no call to action. It's just a nice little sweet little thing that you plug on your page to let people see that you're real, that you ain't just someone who's trying to build some business. Okay, that feeling is very powerful. Natasha, 6 to 9 months, I watched Maria. Absolutely, before you did. Absolutely, guys. Like, everybody does this. And there's a smart part of us that says, well, I want to see this. Like, is this going to, and I mean, imagine in the last 6 to 9 months, you saw Maria do like whoa. And that feeling is powerful. So absolutely, you're just proving that it actually what I'm saying is true. Numbers like Roxy, Natasha, who's got a powerful 3 or a balanced 3? You guys are the only 2. But in other terms, Natasha, Shia, Newton, Keaton, McKeon, that's problematic. Okay, how about Natasha, Keith, Lancaster? That's a very problematic 3. We're going to talk about what happens when the 6s and the 3s get together in the wrong area. It can be very, very difficult to run with. Okay, so food for thought for later. But 3s, we love you guys. You guys bring the love to the party. So thank you for that. Thank you for being the charm. Let's talk about the 4s, and let's get to work. Also, quickly, before we talk about the 4, we're going to quickly finish off on the 3. 2019 is a 3 year. So if you've got a 3 in your chart, there better be like a focus on your 2019 to have fun. If you don't have a 3 in your chart, if it's not showing up here, but it's somewhere else, or maybe it doesn't show up in your chart, try to have more fun this year. I don't know how else to say it, because where is the chart? Anywhere? No, it's not. This is your chart. This is what your chart looks like. I did not write these out for you guys because that's an individual thing. Okay, I got to save something. But the reality is that this is going to be where in the chart. So let's see. Let's take a look at Kate's. So Kate was born in December, so she's got a 3 in her chart, okay? So there's a 3 in your chart which says, hey, I know how to have fun. I absolutely know that was where I had a childhood. Like, heck, come on, I was a kid for one. Having a 3 in the very beginning of your chart is like one of the biggest blessings that you can have. So because it's the only number that says child. And if you're a child while you have it, you're epic. If you're unfortunate to be born in June or August or September, like, holy crap, these people are very mature and serious. Like, look at this one. Very, very serious up at the very beginning parts of life where we're thinking big term. Can't wait to grow up. I don't feel like that. Whereas the 3's like, I don't want to grow up. I just want to stay young forever. And that feeling is the 3 inside of the beginning of your chart. So Kate has one at the very beginning of your chart. This is going to give you a nostalgic feel for 2019. You know what this is like. This brings back your youthful days. Okay, for a guy like Paul, who else is in here? Megan, even Natasha. You guys have a cap, like you can capitalize on 2019 because it's literally your year. Like, actually, numerologically speaking, it is the same year as the number you have in your chart. So the tides are working in your favor. Last year was an 11 year. I'm in a life path 11. It was a breakthrough year for me. So there was a wonderful feeling. It's not going to happen again until I think 2027 is the next year that goes down. But wonderful time for me to create and do things and be of power in myself and in my life. Guys, it was just unbelievable what happened to me in my 2018. If any of you guys have been following my story, got engaged, we got a forerunner, I got a powerful ring for my lady. I went from 0 to 4 kids, and without a job on a mountainside house. Like, this is crazy. And I was just the guy who couldn't hold a job, who couldn't hold a relationship. I was busy stuffing my nose with stuff that I don't really want to talk about, smoking things I didn't even want to think about, eating stuff that comes from cows and things like weird things, okay? Like, I was just on a spiritual path. Anyway, I've emerged from that, and it's basically brought me back into business and back into focus. But the reality here, guys, is that the name change means everything. So 2019 is going to be your year if you've got a 3. If you want to get serious, you're like, well, shit, what do we do if we want to get serious? We want a plan. We want strategy, because I'm about to talk about the 4. That's 2020. We just started 2019. Bobby, what are you talking about 2024? Like, holy crap. That feeling is like, we're going to have fun this year. And if you look at an analogy like a farm, or like let's put it more like a garden. Okay, so the first 3 years are all about seeding and watering and preparing the ground. By the time a 3 year comes, you see, hey, cool, 4A. Hey, cool, my little leader came in. Hey, cool, I got a trifecta. And all these feelings of all these small little seeds that you planted this year are going to bud. They're all going to start to come out of the ground. They're all going to start to break through. The 3 is like, let's have fun. All this sweet little green is happening in my garden. And I just want all these cool little, my babies to flourish. I got a bunch of little children inside of my business here. So there's a value in that, because in 2020, it's like, all right, who's ready to get serious? Who's ready to hit 6A? I know 2019 is the year for you guys to hit 6A. Okay, so you guys are all going to hit 100 sales this year, right? Like, absolutely. And how do you do that? Have so much fun that it's going to just set everything right inside of your life. Having fun is one of the most powerful ways this year to get people to swirl around you and to have that social feel of I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. Like, this is so much fun. So what are we buying anyway? And they're in the bag before they even, because they know you, they bought you, they're going to follow you no matter what. So that's a really powerful magnet code for the number 3. And when 2020 comes, the 4s, April, okay, the 1984, the 1975. Where are you guys? There's 1975 in here, and I'm in 84. We've got Aprils in here. Where else do we see 4s? January 4th for Vanessa. And then I also take a look and I see we have 4 in Kate, Paul, Trudy, Life Path 4 for Danielle, Life Path 4 for Rachel. There's a value, and you see 22, that's the other version of the spiritual number that also shows up as a 4, okay? So inside of this number is organization. These people are freaking practical. They are ready to do the hard work. They're not afraid to roll up their sleeves and say, let's figure this out. Okay, they've got, and look at Trudy's name when she was born, Paul's name when he was born, Natasha, the way she's using it. You guys are seeing good numbers in a 4, yellow numbers in a 4 as well. How about Sky? Look at that, 22, 22, 44. I had to put that because that's usually just 448. But when it shows up 22, 22, 44, that's a pretty spiritual name you've got going on there for someone who's, very practical. So there's going to be 2 realms to this person for sure. But the reality is that 4, organized, on time, absolutely practical, logical. Let's get things done. I want to follow the order. I don't want to skip steps. I don't want to fudge things. Let's figure it out. They can get very frustrated when things aren't going their way. They can get very anal about stuff. Has to get done in the right order, in the right fashion. Otherwise, they become intolerable. The 4s can become very stubborn. And they can just be like, no, it's just no, and get angry and feel like, what, I'm dealing with yahoos. And that feeling is not quite as emotional or as forgiving as it wants to be. Okay, so the 4 can show up as very, very rigid. And think about it, right? Like 4 sides to a square. So not to say that the 4s are square. I've got a 4 in my chart, so I know I'm going for it. But I want to make sure, who else has a 22s in their chart? Just gonna quickly put this up here. This is Clint's birthday. So when we look at Clint's birthday, it is 7 22. Oh, wait, hold on. 7, 22, 22. He's born on July 22nd, 84. So the feeling of him showing up as a 22 in his life, there's power in that. There's absolute power in that he shows up that way now. He wanted to create something big in his life. So this is where that number shows up for him. But if you're holding on to a 4, you absolutely are going to definitely want to make sure that you cross your T's, you dot your I's, you make sure you know your back office, you know your numbers. There's the background feel of knowing what you're doing. The problem with the 4 is you may want to learn everything before you do anything. That can be really difficult because you're never going to learn everything. By the time you figure it all out, guess who changed the training? Guess who changed the platform? Guess who evolved? GAS, Freedom Team. It's changing all the time. So what I would suggest is that for the intellectual types who are really powerful in learning stuff, save your learning for the morning, and you're doing for the morning and you're learning for the evening. Divvy it up, okay? So get the actual work that you need to get done while you got daylight, and when your body gives up and you still have energy in the evening, this is where you go to start to learn stuff. But very, very powerful little hack for the 4s. Absolutely very powerful. They're probably going to have a good discipline for exercise or have a good discipline for themselves, unless it's imbalanced, in which it's a lack of discipline, a lack of organization. I'm always late. I can't figure it out. Why do I always show up at the wrong time? They've got 4s and 5s mixed up together, or 4s and 7s mixed up together. That feeling can be really suffocating because the 4 wants to stay organized. But then the 6 or the 7 or the 1 or the 5, it doesn't. It just wants to flow. So it can be very stubborn. The 1-4-5s, 4-1-5s, they're like raging bulls. They're grounded, stubborn, and you can't remove them from their path. Okay, so we're going to talk about that for sure when we get to the 5s, and we can appreciate this. But the 4s, I have to give it to my Sally. She's a life path 4. Without her, my life doesn't have the stability that I'm looking for. She brings the structure to it, with the discipline, also with the rigidness and the stubbornness. That's the beauty of being in love with her, right? I get it. But her birthday is like this, 6 and 3. So she's got love for family. She's got love for herself. She got love for us. She's always in romance with me. So there's a feeling inside of this that shows up really powerful, that I'm like, well, of course she's going to have a lot of love in there as well. But the 4 shows up as the container that makes all of this possible. So if you've got 4s in there, it's probably one of the biggest unsung heroes in parenthood, where these kids are going to take a long time before they come back and be like, you know what, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad, for being super hard on me, because I appreciate that. Now I feel like I can stand up strong. With young kids, probably not so powerful. They're like, go, 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 come on, let's go. I'm sick and tired of your BS. Let's get running. Like moms and dads with the 4s are like, come on. Like, it's not that hard. Like, just get into your PJs, for God's sake. The feeling is like, let's just do this. What's the holdup, right? And I mean, I'm with that with my kids. I'm like, because Bobby's a 6'4", so I didn't think I saw any 6'4" in here. But if you've got that number, if you got a -4, if you'd be like impatient, be like, come on, it's not that hard. There's a very powerful lesson in the 4 is to deal from the heart. The 4 is at the gut. Okay, now this enters the intermediate numbers. These are leaders. They are practical. They work hard, but they're now entering a stage of long-term. They want to see something happen. They want to learn something. They want to acknowledge something. They want to acquire something. It's like a 2-shot deal. The junior numbers were just ready for present. Now we're talking about the numbers who actually want to go somewhere, see things happen, get some stuff done, and this is where the 4 takes us, okay? How about 5s? Again, spot on. Thank you, Natasha. I appreciate it. This is a whistle while you work kind of gal. She's going to be happy to do the job, okay? She's going to, oh, yeah, sure, no worries. Get promoted, no big deal. Absolutely wants to rise through her leadership and work. But then when it comes to working for yourself, the 4 is a little bit labored, because the 4 is a laboring number. It's the entry to wealth. So if you have a 4 in your chart, it's probably more problematic than it is profitable. So when we see those 4s, we're looking to upgrade them. If they're in your birthday, too bad, so sad. We're going to benefit from them, but they're not going to be the most profitable numbers. They'll be the hardest working ones in the lot, okay? So we get into the 5 now. Where are my warriors at? We got 5s in here. So we've got Faith, Kirsten, Shannon, Kate, and then we have a May baby, okay? And then we've got 1985, October 5th, okay? There's a value in 1976. And then the 14th, Trudy, with your new name. It was truly Trudy, and then when I looked again, it was Trudy A.K. Ruafare. Or is that how you say it? But there was a feeling inside of the 5 that shows up for adventure. It shows up for a fight. It wants to conquer. It wants to thwart evil. The 5 is not going to take things sitting down. If someone says something, these people are going to stand up and be like, excuse me. And that feeling is like, wait a second. You just call foul. The 5 is going to want to say something. Okay, they're absolutely going to want to stand up. So we've got a number like, Shannon's absolutely going to figure this one out. But the reality is that 5 in the negative it's got a much stronger tendency to have self-sabotage. So we're going to be mean to ourselves, or we're not going to take care of ourselves. We're going to defend everyone else with our life, but when it comes to ourselves, we're just going to like whatever. I'm not important. Lethal addictions, a value of just even addiction to debt. But the 5 wants to make $1 and spend $4. I don't want you guys to spend $1. I just want you to make 10. Go ahead, spend $4, but make more than you're spending. That's the value of the 5. They're going to spend their money on traveling. They want to go on adventures, road trips. There's a value in collecting experiences as opposed to collecting things. Then things can include relationships. They can include kids. So the 5s may be like, no, not for me. Or like, at least let's say like someone's who's born in May. The feeling in here with all these 5s may be a little bit late to recognize things like relationship and partnership. That feeling, especially with all these 1s, could be very independent. Absolutely, like, relationship, sorry. I've been immunized. I'm not gonna get into any of that. I was like, where's this going with it between us? Like, out the front door. Thank you. Goodbye. The 5 just wants to stay free. It wants its freedom. And if you're going to get caught or like linked into a relationship, it better be one that doesn't put you in a cage and eats the key. It has to have that feeling of, I want to stay, like open-minded and open to my surroundings and open to mingle and open to have social experiences. Doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to be loyal, but I've dealt with a few 5s before, not necessarily one of the more primary visions of they're loyal to people they can protect and people they care about, absolutely overprotective of their family and their loved ones. But when it comes to being locked down, that's one of the easiest ways to get you locked out of their life, okay? So we show up with a 5, I'm standing behind you. I know that's the safest place to stand. Never in front of a 5. Do not engage. If you see someone in a 5, they're probably going to argue with you and be like, this is a scam, isn't it? This is one of those bullshit things on your page. Like that, and you have to really like calm those things. There's a reason why they have a filter list. Make sure you utilize that when you set your page up, because the 5s are keyboard warriors, baby. They just want to shoot you down. And if you're blessed to have a 5 in your chart, you're going to like, everybody attack on the pod here quickly. Here's the link to the post. Get on there and just drown this guy. Like, he just wants to talk. I swear to God, we're going to tell him, we're going to show him the power of our team. Hell yeah. And then everybody wants, if there's other 5s, they're going to just go, whoa. And there's a war now, and there's a battlefield in life, okay? So this could be fights with parents, fight with your boyfriend, teacher, friend, whatever it is that you want to go through can show up as a bit of an adventure and a bit of a feeling of like, I'm going to win, and I don't care who's in my way. That rage can sort of like cover the eyes, and it'll just take you into a place where maybe you don't want to go, especially with numbers like these guys, the 1s in the 415. I told you we'd come back to you guys. The 1, independent. The 4, very strict and solid. And the 5 is like, I'm going off on my own. It's like that movie where Keanu Reeves back in the day called Speed, where the bus couldn't drop down below a certain speed, otherwise it would blow up. The same thing happens in certain people. They got to keep on running, and they're working so freaking hard, but they're not getting anywhere. It's like I'm running around the city being like, there's a bomb here. If I slow down, I'm going to explode. And if I go too fast, I'm going to crash. And the feeling is inside of these numbers, okay? So structure, stability, independence, and passion sometimes don't actually work all together. But in the nice case, we've got leaders. We have people who are not afraid to study and learn and read the books, and they're definitely not afraid to step outside of their comfort zone. We just need to balance things out at the end to make sure that all these numbers are working together instead of working against you. So 4s and 5s, bad combo to show up inside of a name. 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 4 and 5. Either 1 or 9, doesn't matter. Okay, so there's value inside of that. Yeah, awesome. Absolutely, yes, freedom. Kristen's like, yep, absolutely. So I get it. I have a lot of friends that are 5s. If I'm not happy with a 5, I probably won't engage with them. Just to be fair, I just don't want to argue. I just don't want to fight someone. I'm a peaceable. Look at my numbers. I'm 6, and I mean I have that fight, but look at mine. It goes inward. Wait till you see the 7. The 7 is like doesn't actually say anything. So when we have a lowered communication aspect, we're going to see 7s that chop the voice down. Okay, we see those numbers in a bit. This is where the self-attack goes inward. Guess who never knew that I was suffering from deep levels of addiction? Everyone. Because I kept it to myself. I didn't say anything. And I'm like, I should probably change my legal name and put something in there, lest I continue to self-sabotage myself when things don't go my way. And that's still, I'm like, Bobby F. Perhart, Bobby F. Perhart, Bobby F. Perhart. Because if I say my full name and I use it, it's not a good look. Okay, so there's still some things I need to work on. I haven't taken a legal name change. I'm still working on this. But of course, hey, look, I still have a family. I got all the success I want. I'm still growing in it. Just took me a little bit longer to get there. That's fine. Okay, so we're not trying to build Rome in a day. It takes some time. I get it. That's fine. But the 5s, warriors. Absolutely. We absolutely cherish your courage and your bravery and the things that you'll do for us and the ways you'll put yourselves in pain and harm to protect people. Any girls out here back in the day saw their friends getting hit on by some greasy dude at the club, and they're like, excuse me, no, she's coming with us, okay? Like, And that feeling is like, no, I don't think so. That 5 is like, you're gonna, no, I'm gonna stand up. But when it comes to themselves, oh man, they won't. They're probably not so. It's not so easy. Their function is to protect. So that's why I'm like, man, I really respect that. And there was a part of me who was like that too, and that feeling of like, I'm not gonna say anything. And yet, when then something happens guess who was pretending to be my friend's boyfriend so that I could help them get away from that situation? Like, that's the feeling that happens inside of the 5s, okay? But at the 7 level, I'm like, not going to say anything. I'm just going to let this person figure themselves out until it's ready to activate, and then that's when the 5 comes through. But that's cool. I like it. How about the 6? Now, the 6 is a favorite number of mine. I'm born in June. I use it again. It's one of the best numbers to have balanced out. I use this. Let's take a quick peek. Okay, let's take a look. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 again, 6 again, 6, 6, 6, 6, 8, 7, 6, 7, 8, 6. The 6s are one of my more powerful numbers that I use. And actually, it should be fair enough to say that this is actually the most powerful number in numerology if it's balanced, and the most negative number in numerology if it's imbalanced. So I usually give it to people. I absolutely and I mean, granted, most of us have kids. Most of us want to get married. Most of us want to be in that supreme level of love. And it's not a bad look. So in case you're not feeling it, it's okay. You don't need to. But in case you are feeling it, there's a reason why I use it a lot, because I'm a family man. I want to have my balance between love and money. The 6s do that. Okay, so when we see who's got a life path 6, Royson, and then Lone's got a mastery level of 6. There's a powerful 6 here. There's a powerful 6 here. Megan G. Guarino is a powerful 6. Royson as well just smacks it out of the park with this one. Powerful levels. This is like hard to even describe. At the perfect level, we've got power of self, power for others, power in communication, power in meditation, power in being practical, power in being spiritual, power to collect for others, and also powerful for self-love. When it's not balanced, these people will serve to the end of them. And even at the end, they'll still exhaust themselves even more. These are our helicopter parents. They're the people who want to just stick their nose into other people's business because they have to help, and it's a responsible thing to do. That feeling of the 6 wants to take care of everyone and mother everyone. That feeling that wants to actually take care of others way before they, oh my gosh, take care of myself. That'd be so selfish. We're looking at the 639s, the 865s. How about the 336, 663? Their value of the 6 can run damage to ourselves because we're out there serving our love to everyone. When it comes to our own cup, guess what's turned over and got dust collecting around it? We don't fill our own cup, and yet we're going to go out there and serve all the kids and my husband and my wife and and all my team, and I'm going to lead everyone. I'm going to do everything for them. They're going to run to their aid. Whereas when it comes to themselves, they're like a non-existent, you're confusing the universe when you do this. People think it's treat others well and you'll be treated well. You treat yourself well and the universe will treat you well. you are others as well. So if you've got a 6 in your chart, man, are you like, you are showing up for the rest of us right now on a super powerful lesson that we need to love ourselves. We absolutely need to love ourselves. If we don't, we are going to be exhausted and depleted, regretful, remorseful. The 6s get down on themselves, and you'll just like be so super sad and just be like, I give up. I just can't do this. And you know, it doesn't even matter, whatever. And, you know, I'm just gonna go through the motions, and I've got too much pride to let it go. So I'm just gonna keep on doing this thing, and whatever. I don't even care anymore. It's not even worth it. And the 6 just gives up on itself as if you don't even exist. So that value, we absolutely want to make sure that it gets a nice honor me routine. Anyone hear of Linda Liv Doctor? I put the Liv in her name. She showed me something so powerful that it just became a part of my creed, was the first 15 minutes of your day is all you got to fill up your cup. That's all you need to fill up your own cup. I'm powerful, I'm wealthy, I'm worthy, I'm a leader, I'm good, I'm successful, I'm 6A and beyond. I have a powerful team, my family is awesome, I love me, I'm thankful for myself, I look good, I feel good. Like, I can imagine a bunch of negative 6s in there, but like, man, I could never say that to myself. Like, ooh, that's just way too much compliment to myself. You got to get this done in front of the mirror while you're drinking your water, while you're doing your yoga, your meditation, your exercise. 15 minutes. That's it, guys. That's all you got. After that, guess what? I got 4 kids. I call them the circus. They're waking up. I'm hungry. I'm crying. I need to sit on the potty. I don't want this for breakfast. And next thing you know, I'm serving the everybody else except for me. And that feeling is because, hey, I got a 6 right there. I got a 6 right here. But the value wants to balance out now, which is to say, hey, you know what? I take care of myself too. I don't just take care of others. I actually going to honor myself. I'm going to get upset when I don't. And that feeling of the 6 would be the most powerful leader you ever have, or the most saddest sense of self that can love others. People won't even know. They'll just, and you get families like this, like last names that show up this way. They just circle around each other, loving each other, so it looks okay, when really you put one out of the mix and it's a severe sadness because nobody's taking care of themselves. Everyone's taking care of each other. So be lucky if that's you, because you're here to show up as an example for self-love, and you're here to show the universe that you actually deserve success. So you better start programming that into your mind. Otherwise, you don't expect it to happen. That's one of the easiest ways to be successful in this place, in this realm, social media, branding yourself, is showing up on online saying you are worth it. You better give a damn about yourself. You absolutely deserve success. That took me a long time to get there, because before I was being like, oh, I deserve to be cheated on. I'm a bad guy. Look, I'm so available. I never even take care of myself. And that feeling was like just ugly. No wonder I was getting cheated on and nobody wanted to be with me, because it was like I was just giving it all away. And then I was a weak man, like a weak man. And that was really angry for me, because I'm like trying to live up to my dad's mantle, and he's like got this business, and I can't even hold a job, and I can't get a relationship. And when I do, she's the one to break my heart again. And that feeling is like, it's not honoring myself. But luckily, 27 years old hits, and I'm like, I don't care. No more puppy dog Bobby. I don't give a shit. If you don't care about me, you can follow me if you want to. And I was like carouseling around my ex-girlfriends, and they're all like, you've changed. You're not the same guy I used to know. I'm like, hell no, I'm not. What did you expect? I was going to run after you forever? And that feeling is just like, they're like, oh, ouch. I'm like, no, ouch to you. I absolutely love me now. And even though I really didn't, it was that process of getting angry first, you know? That feeling of like, I've got to do what's right for me. So I've hammered on the 6s. Rachel, you probably have a 6 in your name somewhere. I'm just going to quickly just take a look and see, is it somewhere else? Is it somewhere else? So it's not in Rachel. How about in Clancy? Okay, not there. How about in Branch? Branch is not there as well. Where is it? Where is it? If you don't have it, how come it's there? Rachel Lee. It could be showing up somewhere else. It would be nice to figure out why exactly that shows up, even though it's not inside of your chart anywhere. It's probably the 2s, because there's a lot of sacrifice for others, and that feeling wants to absolutely help other people. So it could be a vibration that's showing up there. Maybe could it be Rachel Clancy or Rachel Branch? Could be something like that. Let's try that. Rachel Branch. There is a no in there. How about Clancy? And yeah, it would be really interesting to see where that actually shows up, because it's not there. And how about in here? Is it here? There you go. Rachel Lee Branch. Absolutely. Oh, no. Yeah. So it would be very powerful to look into that and actually figure it out. Because these concepts keep on repeating themselves. Between 1 and 3, they show up in the primary level. Between 4, 5, and 6, they show up in the intermediate level. And the 6 is like a hidden number. It's like the ruler of the intermediate and the junior side of things. Now we're going to step into the mastery version of all, or the advanced version of all of these numbers. We're going to go up to the top of the block, and we're going to start with the 7, okay? So the 7s, these are the quiet ones, okay? So these are the people who are going to be empaths. They're intuitive. They've got a sense of reduced voice sometimes. They just want to calm down and just be quiet in their lives. We've got a 7 here. I'm not going to say anything. How about 7s in the name? Megan's got it good. She's got a good set of 7s, so this won't apply to you, Megan. But Sky, Life Designer, Kirsten Lee, when you see a 7 in here and it's not balanced, this is a kiss of death for business. The 7's like, oh man, I can see it now. I can see it now. I can see it now. But then I won't say it now. I will just say it later. I'll figure it out. I can't figure out my ad. I don't know what to say. I can't do a go live. I don't know what. Oh man, it just makes me nervous. I'm not a people person. I got into this business so that I could stay in my room and build this business quietly without anybody bugging me. Okay, so that feeling shows up inside of the 7, where you guys may know a lot, but may not say very much. So there's a power inside of the quality of questions that you ask yourself on a daily basis determines the quality of your life. So the 7 is going to be very potent with the ability to listen and also the ability to see between the bullshit. So when somebody says all of their life story to you, you're probably going to be like, what are they really saying? Like, what's the tone behind that? I'm going to mind read this one. So, bless your partners. For anyone who's dating a 7, you're just in their head. You just know what they're feeling. Parents with the 7 are going to know which one of their kids did it before you're going to have the chance to figure it out. You're like, I just have a feeling that it was this one, or that feeling of nobody's getting things past you because you're super intuitive and you just know. There's a value of intuitive energy. So as you grow to the more spiritual sides of things, we see numbers here that are very potent with creating a calm space of meditation and visioning their success. So you may be able to see it in your mind's eye. What I would do, especially if you got the 3 and the 7 and the 4 combo, is you see it in your mind's eye, and then you take your pen and you journal it out. And you close it back, you're going to meditate again. This is what it looks like. And then you put it back down. Okay, we don't call the pizza guy and say, can I please have a pizza? Can I please have my success? We say, I'd like a pepperoni, make it extra cheese, and this is how I want it. The same thing with the 7. Don't go up there asking for stuff. You have to go there telling the universe, this is like in the multiverse, or the infinite probability of every direction that the life can go into. This is the one I'm choosing. The one where I come up above. I'm going to be powerful in business. I have a powerful relationship with my family. This vision of us traveling the world. We hit our ranks, and it's a wonderful feeling. We're making this amount of money a month, and I can see it now. I got a team. They're awesome. You see how much different that manifestation is than, can I please have a team? Can we send people? Just send me the people that I need, that need me. I'm ready, and I'm ready for this, and it's all that I wanted. The universe is going to be like, oh, come on, you're not ready for this. Like, you got to, if you're going to tell me what's going on, not just, we're going to be polite to the universe. I get it. But the 7 can see it. It can see it. And you're probably just haunted by the vision of success that you have. Why can't I say anything? Why is it that every time I go to make an ad, suddenly the dishes need to get done, I got to do the laundry, the kids need to get taken care of, and everything starts coming up above instead of me approaching in business? You've probably got a powerful 7 in your name somewhere that's leading you to an imbalance. Or what about the other people who are powerful inside of their questions? Like, if I were to advertise or to get with Megan, and I'm like, see your ad, there's power in a question. Like, there's a reason why she's super organized. This number here in the 7, this is like supreme level of organization and very best left to her own devices to work. Whereas Megan G. Guarino now puts in a sense of community. And this one will be like, well, how can I help you? Like, what's really going on? The power of questions with a number like this, people want to talk to 7s. They want to spill their beans, and they will tell you things that they don't tell other people. You guys will know stuff that you probably would do a lot of damage if you told other people. The nice thing about a 7, they're trustworthy. They're probably not going to say anything. They're just going to keep quiet, and they're going to absolutely be a closed vault. Whether they say anything or not, they're probably going to reserve that feeling of wanting to speak, and if they'll use very, very less words where they do. So you'll notice them when you talk to clients and like, so what did you think? That was good. Like, oh, cool. So do you have any questions? No. Feeling is just like one-word answers. Like, all right, we're not taking this seriously. It's all good. We want to probe further. We want to get good at getting in with them. Because once you're in with a 7, they start activating. They want spiritual conversation. They want to go deep. They want to talk philosophy. They want to tell you what they really think. The feeling of connection with a person is a very powerful feeling for a 7 that should never be overlooked. It just means that it's a hard barrier to get through the vibration of not having your throat work for you the way you want it to. It's like, and the little moth comes out, and it's like, I don't use this thing very often. I'm more handy with my keyboard, or more like, powerful with things that are not coming out of the mouth, like, speaking, that kind of, where they can make really powerful, spiritualists, or really powerful, if they feel good stuff. They're probably going to call bullshit on religion very often. Like a lot, the 7 is very powerful. I really respect that number. It's my middle name, Francisco. Like, this is what my name shows up with. Can I do this? I'm just going to quickly put this in here. It's 28. Well, let's try it like this. Let's go like this, and then let's do this, and let's do that. So it's 281. Here we go. 281-797-268. So these are how my names show up. Belmont's a 281. Francisco's a 797. Prairie Heart is a 268. And then my name Bobby is let's put it this way. Bobby's a 641. So I got a bunch of negative, unbalanced numbers in my chart. Just to see that it shows up there. And then when I put it all together, it was 819. I had to change it to an 876. Finally, I had some balance. But the reality is I was dealing with a lot of stuff that wasn't working. And yet my last name, oh man, I had to live up to my dad's, reputation and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here like tripping over myself, hurting myself, not really caring about what talking big game, not doing anything about it, carrying big game, not doing anything for myself, and basically serving everyone else but me. That was a real, oh man, I look at this again. I'm like, man, I'm lucky to be alive. How many times I look down the barrel, to be quite honest, and they're just like, I don't even care to be here anymore. Okay, so and then I got all these spiritual numbers. They're like, well, I'm an angel. I'm not supposed to be here, and oh my God, and I want to sit in outer space, and I want to be part of this planet. So the 7s are going to introduce concepts like that, where you're probably going to find you in power in nature. Okay, so you're going to find quiet spaces without signal or without people. And just look at the ducks and be like, man, you guys get me. And that feeling of just being connected to animals is wonderful. But the 7, because they're masters at nonverbal communication, the same way a 7 would be. So we're going to gain our power from that. Law of intuition is powerful inside of this one. These are powerful numbers. Leads us to the 8. Anyone else notice that this was the other number that I favor? This is also the number that shows up besides the 7, or besides the 6, sorry. It's usually 8s. 8s are in almost every single one of these, okay, except for some of the few up front. The 8s are the master of law of attraction, whether you like it or not, and whether it's working for you or not, it is still running in your chart. If you see an 8 here and it is not working for you, there is a hyper level of intelligence that is not able to express itself for your own wealth. You may be very smart. You may be thinking about solutions all the time. You may be able to tell you exactly what's wrong, tell anyone exactly what's wrong with something. Born on the 26th, maybe you're born on the 8th, you've got an August birthday. Natasha's a powerful one here. You've got a powerful level of wealth happen for you at the age of 55 that we need to prepare you for. The 8s inside of numbers can wreak extreme damage to you. This can be the cause of suicidal fantasy, the feeling of like, screw it, pour me another one. I don't care. I'm going to smoke myself silly. I don't give a shit about this place. I'm too smart for it. Nobody gets this. I know exactly what I'm just dealing with idiots. The negative 8 can be so disassociated from the self that it just clocks out and it just wants to, be part of the common rabble. Okay. There's a power inside of the 8 of law of attraction. If it's working in the negative, what you think about, you bring about. In the terms of an 8, the spiritual concept is gone. This is a scientific reality that your mind emits like vibration. It emits a wavelength. it's a powerful coincidence that I'm using it to make a noise that travels across more antennas, more wireless devices, halfway across the world, into your mind, programming you into your mind. I want to speak greatness inside of other people so that I can motivate you to get live. I can motivate you to write the winning ad. I can motivate you to feel confident in yourself so that when somebody sees you, they're thinking the same thing. You guys may not know how to play the guitar, but if someone plays the guitar in your favorite song, you're going to feel moved to emotion. So just in case you have this 8, you don't know what you're doing, doesn't mean it's not working for you or against you. This is a powerful wealth opportunity. So we want to make sure that you absolutely audit all of your thoughts and you make sure nothing silly gets in. Because that feeling of like, oh man, I forgot to put parking in there. I'm going to get a ticket. It's going to get towed. I just know it. And then you go there and guess what car's gone? Or guess what car's got this beautiful little slip on it that says, ha, 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 and the guy's just walking away. And you're like, I knew it. I just knew it. As opposed to the guy who's like, it's all good. I'm not going to get a ticket. It's all gravy. Of course, I never get tickets. I'm always find the spot. Rockstar parking. I always find the spot. Someone else has paid for it. I pull up. Someone else is passing me their paid parking ticket or their parking meter thing, and I'm just getting a freebie. I'm always lucky in life. Things always turn out for me. I'm always successful. Even when I lose, I learn. It's no big deal. Now, the 8 is like, it's all good. We're solutions-based. Even the bad things are going to teach you something, honey. So we're definitely going to get something moving after this. So the feeling of the 8, when it's in balance, is a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling of what you say. This is where wealth comes into maturity. We talked about 4, where it came into creation. 6 is where it comes into fruition, and the 8 is when it comes into maturity. Portfolio, investment, enterprise, organization, global, like incorporation, LTD, PTY. These are the 8s, as opposed to the 4 and the 6. Job, income, overtime, hourly wage, salary. Do you see the difference between the level of conversation that happens at a 4 is to think, oh, I can't do that. It's not. This isn't for people like me, or like I got to learn everything, and like maybe one day, and oh, you see the successful people, and they just got something on them. And the 4 is just like, don't discredit the hard work that you do. You're building your castle brick by brick. Whereas the 8's like, oh, 100 bricks. Let me put 10 people in there instead of me putting one brick 100 times. Hey, 10 people here. Put a brick 10 times each. Fine. Everyone's happy, and you're creating wealth for others. You're helping other people get it, as opposed to doing everything by yourself. Working hard is not working fast. Working smart is where things come into power. This is why I'm giving 8s to you guys. This is why I want you guys to show up with value in your lives for wealth, okay? So we're not going to just give you guys any 8s, because there could be 8s in here that work really, really hard. Sky Jade Jones, 448. That's exquisitely excruciating for magnetism of wealth, because there's a power inside of work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard, and then you'll be successful. And that 4 is like, it's just, you're going to have your rules in order, and it can be very tough to step, like there's a fight between the CEO and the worker mentality to think, I want things magnetic. No, you don't. Crank the wheel. No, I don't. Press a button. No. Do the dance and clock in, clock out. So they're very loyal to their jobs, but they also want to make a lot of money. So they're kind of like at odds with each other. The nice thing is that it actually will work out in the long run, but we don't want to run long. In the long run, we want to have things done and easy and automated and 90%, and all the feeling of let's get magnetic with wealth. I want to swing wealth. And look at the shape of the 8. It's an infinity symbol. Look at the shape of a 4. It's very rigid, and it's absolutely like corners and edges and sharp bits, whereas the 8 is like, it flows, and whatever you do, it's going to come back to you. So that feeling is inside of a magnetism of a number, and it shows up poetically designed in the shape of its digit. So it's a wonderful feeling, the manifestation of wealth and law of attraction. We have the master of intuition at the 7, the master of wealth at the 8. Let's introduce you guys to the master of love. These are our humanitarians, the 9s, okay? The positive power of the 9, you guys show up as an illuminating force of enlightenment and love, and you care about others, and you guys care about the world, and you care about bigger causes, and you want to go global, and the feeling of the 9 wants to give everything back to the world. So if you're seeing a 9 in a positive light, let's see, who does? Nobody except for Kate L. Crew Camp Sue, Six-Figure Mummy. The problem with that is that's probably not the vibe that says Six-Figure Mummy. It will have a value for business, but we'll talk about that when we add up your name. Danielle Wilkinson, that's a sincerely powerful name for sure. Maybe a little bit too powerful. You may be looking at it being like, why am I missing the boat then? How about Lone Timai Fan? That's a really strong 9. Like absolutely epic. Okay, these are numbers that I absolutely love when they show up this way in purple and you got a 9. But the reality is that we care, that we've evolved. From the 1, it was the sense of self, and it grew into leadership, into partnership, into growth, into challenge, into the universe, into wealth, and now into the cosmos. The 9 shows up as the infinitism. It's not related to the sense of self anymore. So we have a wonderful feeling of humanity, philanthropy, donation, care for others, takes whatever you make and gives it away. Whether it be to family or to others, it doesn't hold wealth. If you're seeing a 9 inside of a red, it's not a good look. These people are going to be like Lone, very strong for business, but then he won't recognize himself. And next thing you know, everything he does is going to do it for other people. How about Paul? Super loving. Like very, very loving character. The 639, love with the family, love for the self, or love in the moment, and love for all. But when it comes to love for self, this number is shown up short, and he's stacked against himself with the September and a 3 life path. This feeling is like, I will love, but when it comes to me, that he doesn't figure himself out in that light until 55. So we're going to prepare you for that. Absolutely, we're going to prepare you for that journey. But the reality is that the 9 is, it's very easy to produce a negative aspect. We look at these 9 double 2s, 2, 9, 11. Who else has got a negative 9 in there? 819, that shows up like that. The amount of sacrifice that Rebecca goes through is unreal. She will not speak up for herself until it's too late. And then feeling if it's all good, no, don't worry about it. And then suddenly the boiling point reaches, and suddenly she turns into something else. And that 5 and that 1 take over. And it's just like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to give everything away to other people? And then next thing you know, when it's too late now, it's like, hey, what about me? Like, what about you? That feeling is like, you're just going to give up anyway. Like, let's just keep arguing until you give up again. And that feeling will be there because that feeling is like pushy for the 1 and the 5, but then eventually, just doesn't want to say anything. Just forget it. Doesn't matter. I'm here to serve. It's like I'm here to serve you anyway. Like, what the hell? So, of course, mental breakdown from that last week. Thank you. Thank you, universe, for mentally breaking down this woman moments before we had a chance to say this to you. I'm doing some serious repair, like spiritually in my heart and my soul, guys. This is not a game. I promise you, this looks really cool. It's very fun. I'm really, colorful. But this isn't a game. This is your lives. This is your business. So when we see that 9 running havoc against you, we really want to make sure we fix it. Unless you want to plan on Mother Teresa, the whole planet, and just basically forget about business. Whereas in the other end, if it's got master 8s around it, like double 8s with the 9, or how about this one, double 8s with the 9, you better be ready to change the planet with this number, okay? This takes you from 6 to 7 figures a month. So in case you're like, sweet, got a sweet name, and then yet you're only used to making 30, 40, 50K a year, you're probably not going to have fun using this spaceship until you learn how to ride your bike. So the feeling is like, great, this is awesome. I don't know what I'm doing. Or great, this is awesome. I can't control my own thoughts. I got problems with my mentality, my mindset, self-limiting beliefs, this and that. Do you think Michael Phelps or Wayne Gretzky or I don't know who the rugby leaders out there in the South, but the tops and the greats and the people absolutely like chiseled at their game. Hugh Jackman. How about that guy? He's powerful, okay? Well, he's an Aussie, isn't he? Or how about who's the other one in there? I can't think of them right now. But the reality is that these people are going to be extremely powerful they're not going to worry about the smaller things. So I'm not sure. I don't know Hugh Jackman. I don't know what his numbers are. Bad example. But the reality is that the greats in life, they're not concerned. Like if you're about to go to the Olympics, guess what? You hire professionals. You hire trainers. There's a team of people around you. You are absolutely going for the Olympic level. They'll tell you what to eat. They tell you what to think. They tell you when to wake up and go to bed and what to do when you wake up and how to train. You don't leave anything to yourself. So for you guys with your life path 8s and your mastery numbers, guess who you're probably going to want to work with every so often? Guess who calls me? Aaron Fraser, Clint, Blage, Matt Jang, Cameron George, the top tier, Maria White. Who else is calling me a lot? Serena calls me. The feeling of power inside of the series, like, I got to get my session done again. The feeling is there because they understand that there's a power in coaching, mentorship, training, and a nice little like life hack. Take what you spend on personal development in a year and times it by 10. That's what you're making that year. And there's a wonderful feeling. If you want to make $1 million, spend $100,000 in personal development. Hang around and do events every week, every month. Go and get big level. The feeling is in there. Ask the tops and the greats how much they invest in their personal development and their coaching. You're going to get a really round figure about 1 in 10. That feeling is in there. That 10 to 1, 1 in 10. It's a powerfully magnetic number. What you give out comes back 10 times. You get 10 leads, 1 will buy. You get 10 buyers, 1 will be a leader. So think about that always in business. If you're ever away from the 10 to 1 or 80-20 rule, you're doing something out of alignment, okay? So if you're like, man, I'm getting all these leads, like 5,000 leads, and I'm not converting 500 of them. I'm only converting 20 or 10 or none. There's a mix or a missing piece between that number. So we can get very, very tight into the coaching conversation when we look at the difference between 10 and 1 or 8 to 2 or 80-20, okay? So just something there for you guys to sort of like ponder on. It's a 10% rule, okay, everywhere you go. This is a divine Fibonacci. I don't know where it comes from, but I see it everywhere. So we got some pretty cool numbers here, okay? We started with the ego and the sense of self, and we ended here with the value of universe and cosmos. Let's just quickly talk about these spiritual numbers for a second. I see 22s. I see 11s. I see quadruple 2s. I see 44. Double 6s are here. We have, double 7s, anything? How about we've got double 8s. Damn, those up. Double 5s. Anything double 6. Okay, there you go. There's that one there. Double 3 shows up. Mastery numbers. It's probably pretty hard to grab a life path 33 or a life path 44. It happens. I've seen it, okay? But when we see these things, I'm usually looking at 11 and 22. There are 33, there is 44, there is 55. They do exist, and we can see them in the bigger concepts of our lives. Like Lorraine, once she hits 27, Lorraine, your double 6 ensues. This is master of the domain, domestic master, powerful in home, wants to create a queen inside of your life. Absolutely powerful inside of that, okay? I've 2 double 2 and double 5. Let's take a look at Sasha here. So we see a double 5 inside of your number, okay? And this is going to be Sasha Talon, which is master warrior. This is not someone you want to fight with. There's going to be a frustration of holding together things. That feeling of chaos will never be far away. And the other part of this, the double 2s inside of your birth year, I think, wait a second. That's right, 84. Says you want to do big things. Okay, when you're 55, the 22 is master engineer. The 11 is master partner. There's a value of the 2 and the 4, but accelerated, which means life is tough. Life has more challenge to it. Relationships get us more. We're battling ourselves more. We're more sensitive to energy. We're not just dealing with a human concept anymore. This is old soul, angel feeling, guided, whatever the heck it means. Sky. Man. The 22 is going to make you very, very powerful for creation of things and wanting to work hard. And the other 22, again, inside and out, there's a strong sense of logic that wants to ensue. Okay, so we have the 4, and then the 8, the master version of practicality that shows up inside of your life. Sky Williams and Sky Jade Williams is suffocation. We need to have proper communication here because there's probably a lot of depression going on because the amount that you will feel for others and the amount of stability that needs to show up that you were born with is being just swindled around by these names. So it's going to be such an honor to watch you move and rise forward from this because these numbers are fiddling you out from no sense of balance or foundation and no sense of communication. This is no way to show up to business, especially for someone who's a very big vision of what needs to happen. Like you're born with it. And that feeling wants to keep you looking up. When you close your eyes, you can see that vision. But when we open our eyes, it's like, let's work hard and let's stay local and loyal and figure this out. Where as soon as you close your eyes, it's like, oh my God, I can see the vision of my future again. Open the eyes, and it's like I'm dealing with things that are happening in front of me. There's a massive, massive challenge in having that number. But at the same time, this is your soul. You came to the earth mastering this stuff that shows up here, okay? When you show up with these numbers, this is what your soul already knows for sure. How about Kate? Double fours. This thing is like super freaking loyal. And you want to go traveling. Like, I just want to have fun. Like, God, I just want to go up there and just rip some things apart and just break some stuff. And the four is like, stop it. Just be loyal, be freaking on time, and don't do that. Like, you don't do things like that, okay? And the five's like, boring. I want to go and break something. Let's go pull the alarm. Let's go and call in a sick day. I don't care, whatever. The five wants to go off into its own direction, whereas the four is like, I want to be subservient and do my own thing. And this can be really difficult. So, and especially with Kate Alcrookham's six-figure mummy, this is like, screw that, let's just go off into space. So you may decide that there could be another name in there that takes you into a step-up stage. You know, when you guys are, again, getting from 6 figures to 7 figures a month, you hit the millionaire status with $150,000 mark or wherever it is, you may feel that click to be like, no, I'm going to do this now. I mean, for the save the numbers like Danielle Wilkinson, she was born like that. Like, that's her, like, I mean, not born, I guess she married into this. But that feeling is like, I'm going to, like, this is who you naturally are. So you may have some considerations to create about thinking, am I going to live to my number, or am I going to take a thing that's going to help me get there first? So when we talk about numbers in a second, guys, actually, I think we're there now. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about a name. Now, this keeps coming up. Okay, this keeps coming up. I'm just going to open this up a little bit so I can see it all. Okay, cool. I was a flight attendant for 6 years at a travel agent. Absolutely. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Let's just take a look at Kate for a second, okay? Stability, 6 years, okay? She was loyal to travel, okay? She was absolutely working hard, getting on a plane every freaking day. Absolutely, okay? So she combined the two, where she's like, hey, you know what? This is cool. I can travel, get my kicks on the plane, and I can also get my paycheck. But guess what happened? It sucks the soul out of you. You don't get to see the places you want to go. You're stuck in a plane or an airport. The hours are long. They're shitty. And you're not getting the value of being – you're like, this is a raw deal. This is like the worst thing for – like I'm selling everyone else's travel, yet I want to be the one going and traveling. Or I'm serving everyone else and their egos while I want to be the one in first class. Like, the feeling is there. I get it. I understand that shows up. We're going to balance this out. When we get to the next part now, guys – we're going to balance this out. So I just want to make sure, are there any questions, any comments, any insights? Does anybody want to validate my ego here and just let me know how on point I am? Or if I was not on point, then I'll probably find a way to explain that. But the reality is, guys, is that I want to show up for everyone and absolutely make sure that you guys get value from this. On point, absolutely 200% accuracy. Yes, I thank you guys. On point, perfect, 100%. Thank you. Sweet, guys. Awesome. Cool. So I shouldn't get a day job. You guys are saying that I lined it up. I know what I'm talking about. I'll just tell you guys real quick. I actually teach this. I don't want to keep taking your money. I want to keep you guys on the only reason why I charge is because this is my time. I would be doing this at a job if I didn't do this at a feeling there of wanting to serve our community. I also teach people this equation, how to read these numbers and line up your house, your phone number, your social insurance, the bank account, the credit card, all of the, like, everything that shows up has a value. Can you imagine a credit card that's just like magnetized to the POS system? And it's like, as soon as it gets pulled out, it's like, tap, 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 tap. And you're like, oh man, the rush is there. It's like, I got to shop more. It's like, you know, the feeling of going to the mall. It's like, that feeling wants to go and spend money. And you're the type of person who's like, doesn't want to do that. That can be anxiety. Or hopefully your bank account number or your credit card number says 4 and it says, do I really need this? Probably not. I'm just going to wait on it. I'm going to wait for it to go on sale, and I'll probably buy a used one somewhere that works really, really well. And the 4s want to think a bit more logical, okay? So the feeling is like that apps like if any of you guys are like you're going to be like, how do I calculate? This is what I teach, okay? So there's a value inside of it. Imagine your house. Imagine your house. If it's a 7 and your address adds up to a 7, guess who's got a very serene zen little garden in their living room, and like there's no TV, and there's just like, we don't do electronics here. It's very like chic and postmodern and whatever, as opposed to the 5 who's like kids running around banging each other, there's blood on the wall, there's blood on the carpet, I don't even know what that is, and the feeling is just there's chaos inside of the home shows up, and there's fights and people are breaking up, and it can ruin relationships when the place you need to have stability says a thing like 5 on it, can be like, ouch, that's not a place to build a stable home. I teach you guys how to line that up. So there is value in working one-on-one with me to figure out what exactly is going on in your chart. And then for those who want to go on further, the second and third level is what happens in the next 10 years and what's happening in your peripheral, your kids, your spouse, your house, your things, all of the stuff around you. Can you imagine a phone number that says 7? There's no way you're picking that thing up. There's no way that you're dialing a call or you're trying to use your phone to call a prospect. You're like, you're shaking the phone until the battery runs out. You're like, oh, thank God, and plug that thing in. And oh my God, I was about to get on a call. Like, oh, that feeling can be, I was just going to text them. Let me just text them and then that'll be fine. Okay, cool. We can, that can be a very big issue in your business. If your numbers are not in communication, it can be a very difficult place to run anything. Okay, so just food for thought. Considering that you guys all want to work and do this thing super long-term and big term, I would love and be so honored to show up as one of the most valuable things in your team. Imagine 6 months down the road, you're like, Bobby, it's time for me to do my own group session. I got 20 people who all need to get this shit done. Let's put them into a group. Can we do the thing again? Can we do that thing for all my team? Serena's sitting here. The feeling of this is going to be like, oh, all of her businesses get lined up. All of her entrepreneurs get lined up and become self-serve. All of these reds turn into purple in a few minutes and green. Like, ooh, Nelly. There's going to be a boost in your guys' alignments, guys. Like in the business that shows up for you and your people, that's going to be a wonderful feeling. You're going to start to attract more quality people into your life. You're going to absolutely have more quality conversations. You're going to feel better. You're going to get over things. Absolutely nuts, okay? Lorraine, I'm not going to be lining up your phone number live, so I apologize. I can't do that. But absolutely it shows up, okay? Vanessa, I appreciate this, getting so much out of this. How do you get the numbers for FB names? I get the birth number and the birth date, but how are you getting the 3 numbers for the Facebook business name? Vowels plus consonants equal the total. So you take O, and then that's 6 and 6, 12 and 12, I think, or else it would be the 20, no, it has to be 12. Or am I wrong? 14, sorry, 15, 15th number, 6, right? So 6 plus 6 equals 12, 1 plus 2 equals 3. R, X, Y, S, T, C, K equals 3. When I add it together, 3 plus 3 equals 6. So this is my secret. That's it. Secret's out, okay? This is what I'm doing. I'm basically looking at the code of your name and seeing, do these numbers play well together or do they not work into your benefit? If there are numbers that show up like 448, there's a reason why it says works too hard. Okay, so just in case you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this on my own. User beware. User beware. There are numbers that can then hurt you, and I absolutely recommend consulting a professional. The fact that you guys have all invested in yourselves like this makes me feel like you guys are serious about doing that. But if anyone's feeling super risky, hey, go ahead and line it up yourself. See how that works out for you. Message me at least and say, Bobby, I was doing some homework. What do you think? And I'll at least say yes, no, and hopefully book in 15 minutes with you because I value my time. Okay, so please don't bombard me with questions. If it's going to take me more than 30 seconds to say it in a voice note, I would appreciate you guys booking in. But I will give you guys some exclusive prices for just you guys that will absolutely be powerful for you guys to work with me one-on-one. Let's go back to the group. This is the second part. If there's any other questions, please pop them in the chat. I'm just going to make sure I see how I've manifested poor money management by manifestation. Ouch. Absolutely. Cool. I'm so fired up. Yes, you got it. Oh, you guys are awesome. Love you guys. I want to learn. Please do it one-on-one. Absolutely, Natasha. You absolutely definitely need to. This is teaching me so much. Open my eyes. Yes, thank you, to who I am or to why I am like I am, right? And now that you know that this is why you're like it, next time it happens, you can just relax. Bobby said this was going to happen. This is in my chart. I'm not going to go crazy on myself. I realize sometimes I just don't want to say anything. Sometimes I just say the wrong thing. Sometimes, and now you get to give yourself a small little wedge into the door, a little tiny foot space in to give yourself some freaking breathing room, to cut yourself some slack. The feeling of you knowing that it's there, Oh, imagine all the weight that's lifted, the feeling like, oh man, that makes so much sense. No wonder I'm such a fuck up in life. And that was my conversation, was like, yeah, okay, I get it now. I understand. I'm just self-sabotage. That's a thing that I have on my chart, and I'm not going to weigh myself by that anymore. I didn't choose my name. It was given to me. I love my name, but it's offering me the human experience of the challenge. I get it. That's wonderful. Let's fix it. I'm a solution-based kind of guy. I absolutely want to think in long term. Nothing will stop me. I've gotten everything that I wanted. And if I haven't gotten it yet, it's because I haven't gotten it yet. I don't want for things that I shouldn't have, and everything I want, I have it. And I look back at my life, I'm like, I wanted a house on the hill. I wanted a hot babe. I wanted lots of kids. I wanted my own son. I wanted a car. I wanted to buy a really fat ring for her. I wanted to have no job, like all of this stuff. And I'm like, I wanted to prove my parents. I wanted to prove my business. I wanted to crack 6 figures. I wanted to do all of this. Sometimes my ego was like, yesterday. And the world is like, grow first. What are you talking about yesterday? Yesterday, you didn't give a shit. Now you give a shit? You think that's going to happen overnight, guys? It took me 3 years to get out of my own head. So just like put my face out of my own butt, and that feeling took some time, and it led me to mental breakdown, destruction, difficulty here and there. Oh God, it was crazy. So cool. You are so wonderful and give so much value. Thank you again so much. One of my mottos is life is full of hurdles. How high do I jump today? Nice. I like it. So guys, you ready for this? Everybody ready to get into the, oh man, this is it. This is where we're going to, I'm going to make sure I open this up a little bit so I can see, that everyone can see at the same time. So we're going to see your guys' names and the things that you're using. Are they working towards your advantage, or are we dealing with stuff? Okay, boom, ready. Trudy. Okay, let's do this. Let's absolutely just rock this out. So I'm assuming that this is the name you're using on your Facebook personal profile. If you're not, then you may want to correct me, unmute yourself, write it in the chat, but you absolutely definitely want to make sure that the way that you show up to your family, your friends, your Facebook is lined up, okay? This can also show up on your call display, on your Zoom handle, anything you need to use, an email address, websites, all that stuff. It gets a little strange with websites and emails because there's www.com.au, at Gmail, at Hotmail, at Live, at Mail. So there's more stuff inside of an email, but at least we're getting started with the name that's going to work. But consider your signature. Consider your call display. Consider your email. Consider all of the stuff that you want, except for your sponsored business ads. When you show up with a profile or a page, is different than a profile. A business page allows you analytics. You can spend money on it. There's going to be power in creating a value between an audience. There's no 5,000 limit to the people who see you. It's not intended for the same thing as your profile. Okay, so we're looking at this as a personal level. This will keep the family, and if you do business on the personal side, this will keep all of that in balance. And then the next slide shows up as what do we look like on our business. So as we can take a look inside of a chart, these are not the same things. We're like, this is the name you show up in life, and then this is the name that you would show up in business somewhere. So I will line them up inside of a conversation, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna line you guys up one at a time. Now you see here, this is, again, for my level of like organization. If you see the numbers in black, it's referring to this name up front. If you see a number in red, it's referring to the fact that your business name is a different name, and there's a different way to balance it out. For some of you, I didn't actually do it because Kate L. Crew Camp is a powerful name, but you may want to take it down a notch just in case you're thinking, why am I missing it then? Because it could be overshooting, okay? So there is a value. Like let's say Vanessa Brown will want a name that balances her out here, but then on Vanessa Fontaine Antokonopoulos, is that how I say it? Antonopoulos. Let me know. And let me, if I butchered that, I'd like to know, because I deal with really cool names all the time, so I'm trying to get good at them. But see how this one shows up in red? So if we're going to balance this thing out, you're going to look at the red number. And if I'm balancing the front side out, you're going to be looking at the other number. Vanessa's raised your hand. So are you going to unmute yourself, or do you want to write in the chat? If you're going to unmute yourself, do it and interrupt me. Otherwise, let's talk, and we'll absolutely get to you on a timely fashion. I put this in order of who paid and who decided they were in. Some of you guys are going to owe me at the end of the month. Okay, I appreciate you guys doing everything you can to make sure that happens. Hey, what's up?
Hey, it's Antonopoulos.
Antonopoulos. So I wasn't that off. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you said it perfectly then.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So some of you guys are going to owe me at the end of the month. I want to put you in front of this information before I collect what's worthy to mine. If you guys screw me over and don't pay me, guess who's going to pay me? The universe. So please don't test me and don't test it. It's going to feel really rotten on you guys. And absolutely, I'm trusting you. I absolutely have faith in you guys that this is like, anyone's ever seen Indiana Jones where he's trying to like, you know, like get the crystal skull and he's got to put the thing on there. Otherwise the whole temple falls in. The same thing happens inside of your chart. If you don't like fulfill what weight of gold is for this information, the universe, you will pay for it. You are judged on a much higher court than just little old Bobby. I'm doing fine. I can take some shrink. But the reality is, guys, is that can you do that? So what I want to do is I'm going to talk about everybody one at a time. And what we're going to do is we're going to come back again for questions. So in case you're like Roxy here, you've got a couple of names, right? You can use a few of them, like Roseanne. You can use Roxy. There's a difference between them. How about another one that does this? Who else did this? Not sure if I see anybody right now, but if you've got a different version of your name, you can also use a version of your middle name and your first name. That's something we would want to handle on a group session. But after we finish this, I don't mind to come back and answer any questions. So just to respect everybody's time, this is the hour that it takes. So I appreciate you guys hanging in with me. And if you feel like you need to leave after your name is done, I appreciate that. But there will be a replay. So in case you do have to go, you're not going to miss it. You can just record, 2.5 hours I have to go, and there's more to learn. Okay, so there's absolutely more powerful here. Now, Roxy's stock. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Roxy first. So Roxy, you want to unmute yourself or jump in the chat. It's all good. This number here is going to set you up for sweet, loving housewife, trophy housewife. And you can be like, I want to be in business though. Like, what's going on there? Like, I need to actually show up with power in business. I go for the low-hanging fruit. I don't want to be here all day. I'm going to give you a number that's going to move you from 6 into 8. So you can choose a letter B, a letter K, or a letter T. If you don't know which one to choose, come back to me and let me know. But if you decide, hey, I'm going to take this number, I'm going to use it, I'm actually going to run with it, then let's go. You really don't have much of a choice in this case unless you take 2 letters or another name. If you take Roseanne stock with the letter, or you take, what is it, Roxy Linda stock, there's a power. Also, Roseanne Linda stock, if you just use this, you're set. This is a wonderful vibe. 628 shows up here, okay? I'm going to introduce you guys to these numbers here so you get a chance to see them. Anybody has questions, this is where you interrupt me. So these ones in the green are going to show up more easy and more fun and less structured. And they're like, let's just get going. Let's just move. Let's just rock. Let's just do this. I don't need to worry about things that are happening. I'm just going to basically wing it. And this is going to be a fun road to success. If you see a 3 inside of the name that you can choose, this one has a special mark for 2019. So as I say, you guys in big term strategy, if you see one of these, you may use them for 2019 and then ditch them for 2020. If that's the case, I don't blame you. These numbers are good for starter kit. If you're trying to get past yourself or you're trying to figure something out, this feeling will show up inside of there, okay? So, cool. What do we got here? We got a 358 sweetheart, super passionate for business, or super passionate, ambitious, and then powerful for business. B, K, or T. Let me know which one you want, or if you need to keep going and you're like, yeah, how do I get higher up here? Roseanne Linda stock will work. Otherwise, we've got to look at Roxy Linda stock with a letter or Roxy stock with 2 letters. We'll take a look at that at the end. But I would be trying to get somewhere around these 4, or these 6 would be the most powerful ones I would look at. These ones are fun. The 1, 5, and the 6, they're independent. The 1, 7, the 7, 1, 8, they're independent. These guys are more hardworking. These guys are more fun. And the value is let's just get working. And this one's like, let's think long term. So you guys may be approaching these when you get into mastery situations, or even feeling like I'm going to get to the next level, or I've got a serious life, or I've already run a business, or I've already seen it all and been through it all. That feeling can show up inside of there, just so you guys know. Okay, so we'll talk about that as we get there. But if it feels right, Roxy B stock, okay, or Roxy K stock, or Roxy T stock, run with it, love it, absolutely take it on. You may see your maiden initial. You may see your middle initial. Of course you're going to want to take that because that's you. My middle, Francisco F, Can you imagine me thinking between F, X, H, Q, or Z? I'm like, I'm not Bobby Z Perryhar, but I see people who want it, or Q. I hardly give people a Q because it's weird, right? But the X, I know Clint has it, and some of you guys are going to want it because you see it there. But for me, I'm like, give me the F. Like, this is 4 years ago. I'm like, I'm not just going to take a weird letter. I want to have something that I can use. So can we please just take the F and call it a day? Thank God it was the most powerful vibration. If you have one of these, I'm suggesting that you take it, okay? If you've got one of these, we'll talk about this. But in terms of Roxy, wonderful year number, okay? You may want to change it later. As soon as you're ready to turn this green or purple or blue, you could even keep it, but this just doesn't speak to business. But we absolutely want to turn all of these reds and blacks and whites into purples and greens and blues. So feel free to write your name or to unmute yourself and let me know if you have any questions. Let's talk about Megan. Megan's got a very interesting situation. One name is going to stand for serious and not saying very much and works behind the scenes. Suddenly she shows up telling me all the people who have paid and attendees, and I'm like, damn, Serena, lucky to have you, girl. This feeling is like, I'm a leader. I don't need to say very much. I'm serious about my business. Absolutely. You may not want to change that. In the case you're like, I don't want to do this alone. I actually want to build something with the group. You want to show up with leadership. There's a power of family. There's a power of ambition and travel. And there's also a really sweetheart vibration that just wants to have fun. I swear to God, Megan, 2019 is your year. I promise.
Right.
Who's unmuted?
Me, Megan.
Hey, Megan, what's up? Okay, I see Roxy T-Stock. Let's just quickly do it. And we're going to take this into a 358. I'm going to turn you green. You are powerful and love it, okay? And we're going to, if you change your mind, Roxy, just let me know, okay? It's all good. You can change your mind. We're not changing your name legally. If you change your name on Facebook and you change your mind, they're going to be like, hey, what are you doing? You're going to wait 60 days. And after you do that, they're going to be like, hey, what are you doing? You can't change your name. They're going to stop you from doing it. So, Megan, what's up? Let's talk.
So with my business page, which I've done one post and then sort of haven't done anything else because I've got this fear and resistance and whatever. But even though my middle name's Leslie, in my email I've got Megan G 1967. And when I looked at doing my business name, the G felt good. Megan G Garino felt good. That's why I chose it.
Cool. I would probably take that to your personal page as well if you want. You could take P or Y just in case you want to create something a little bit different so you can distinguish between the two. But I don't. I take one name and one name to rule them all. And we'll talk about that when we get to Kirsten, when she's got Lifestyle Designer, Happy is Free, the Providor, or Providore, however those show up for you guys in those names. We're going to have some words for you, okay? But in the case of Megan, what do you think? Do we want to move your name back or do you want to choose something else? We want to shift. So if you need a shift, I would say that's because we want to have more fun. So you may have to take a couple of letters to get back into here. But the reality is, why would you play small if you're on the longer road here? There will be power of like humility and a feeling of loving and caring for others. The self-love journey will be one of your most powerful things, but your name is powerful. This one a bit more independent. This one a bit more geared for business. If you're saying it just feels right, well, look at these 7s in your chart. They're balanced. I would believe that I could just ask you anything like the magic 8-ball and see what Megan says. And whatever you say, I should just do it because she's probably seen it in a vision. Any questions?
No. Well, yeah. So I can just change my current Facebook page and add the G in.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. Well, I don't have any feeling of resistance about it. I quite like the sound and the feel of the Megan G Garino.
Cool. So just in case you guys have 7s and you're like, man, I don't know, I got to think about it. It's because the 7s and the 4s want to deliberate. So in case you don't have the feeling or you feel like you just want to pause on it, absolutely you can. But thank you, Megan. I appreciate it and everything that you do for us and your team. Like, it's very powerful. So this is like my vibe. I have the 876. This is the female version of it. So it's a wonderful vibe that says spiritual. It says intuitive. It says magnetic for business. And it says balance for family. So the fact that you're showing up like this is going to be a wonderful balancing effect. Absolutely. Cool? Cool. If you have any questions, let me know. Danielle, any more?
No, I just said thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's been an honor and a blessing to serve you in life and in business. You have no idea. I'm just like, oh man, I could talk about that forever. Danielle. Let's take a look here, okay? So this thing may be pushing you off the edge. If you're a thrill seeker for the world and you're like, absolutely, I want to create something powerful in my life. I'm going to change the world. The 8 stands for wizard. the 9 stands for global vision, and the 8 stands for wizard. So there's a serious sense of like, keep the family aside. I'm going to absolutely take this thing for what it needs to. This can be a little bit more emotionless than serves you. The 1, the 8, the 22, the 4, the 8, the 9, the 8. Your overarching sense of love can disconnect you from the daily sense of love. I'm not talking about the individual parts of your names here. If that's frustrating for you, it's because the individual names are more loving. But the reality is that if you're ready to change the world and step into this vibration, I would say that let's hope that you're already successful in business and that you're not dealing with this pesky 4 being like, oh, you can't do that, or I don't know about this, and let me figure it out, or let me think about it. The 4 wants to stay logical and practical and mechanical to money, whereas the Danielle Wilkinson is saying, no. Let's go into entrepreneur mode. That may be overbearing for you. So there's an initial that says GP or Y that takes you back out of the 7-figure range and back into the 6-figure range, let you build that business there. And then one day you may drop the letter and continue on to your original vibration. Or you may be like, Bobby, thanks, but no thanks. I'm a spaceship kind of gal. This is my natural name. This is my natural destiny. I had to marry this guy to make this work. So absolutely, I'm going to take this name. And this is exactly what I want. So if you're going to keep it that way, no problem. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. If you're planning on taking the GP or Y, please let me know. And that way I'm going to absolutely balance this out. But we got a global visionary in here. You know who else has this number? Matthew Tyler Guy Jang. How about Balaj W. Cardos? They are big numbers to hold. So if you decide you want to run with them, get ready to jump off a cliff and forget the ground. Forget the limiting beliefs immediately. You need to just squash them. Any questions, Danny?
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know, if I feel fear and excitement, does that mean I should leave it or change it?
I think that the fire that burns down your house should be contained to grow the meal that you're trying to cook. So fear is a healthy thing. It's either like false evidence appearing real or fuck everything and run. So basically, we want to know which one of it is. If that fear is going to keep you closed window behind things, then probably might want to consider the 876, at least as an introductory name that sort of like bridges the gap. I have one too. I could take, what is it, HQ or Z, and I can come up here. Okay, so the same thing, it was the same thing for loan. You can take the HQ or Z, and I'm not sure why I wrote it that way. Sorry, buddy. So the feeling is that there's an option for us to step into our power if we feel that it's warranted. But if for me right now, I'm like, oh man, I need to raise a family. I'm going to be a powerful person in my relationship. So if Danielle Wilkinson is going to do this, we better make sure that your hubby or your partner is holding the heart, because this will show up as the antenna for the brain. You want to make sure that there's a love and a heart, and he's a very loving male, a very loving man that wants to support you and say, you go get it, girl. I'm going to take care of the kids. I got diaper duty. I got dinner, and then I got date nights, and that can be a perfectly lined up. Gender realities are completely abolished here, guys. We can have masculine women, feminine male. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. I've got a lot of feminine in my chart. That makes me very loving and caring and giving and all that good mushy stuff. And there's a reason why I work a lot with women. It's because I connect on the emotional feel. I want to do the daddy thing, okay? So in case Danielle's like, he can do the mommy thing. I'm going to do the power making money thing. I'm going to run it. But it can disconnect you from your children. Let's just put it that way. This one connects you more to your love life and more to your community. Whereas this one's like dead set serious. You better get out of the way because this woman's going to do something. It could just take you, like Balaj, 5 years of being dormant to really capitalize on this name. So any questions or any insights on this?
Well, Paul actually is my partner.
Yep. Paul Erickson.
So, and like,
aww, and he's such a loving kind of guy. Look at this guy.
He's not that guy. He's loving, but he's not like the number 3 stuff that you were saying. We were like, what?
Let me double check. Let me just double check. Because there are other numbers in there, guys. Like we absolutely see other things showing up instead of just the name that shows up. So we're going to see here Erickson and 639. There's an overarching sense of love here. So we really want to make sure we take a look at where that's not coinciding. It would show up somewhere in some of these, in some of the inner numbers and the inner workings, where we're not going to be able to get into in a time together. So if that's you guys and you're like, wait a second, how come you're saying stuff that doesn't apply to me? If there's something else going on the inside of this that makes it overriding of what this thing looks like, okay? So absolutely, we want to make sure that it sits and it handles. But yeah, it happens to be that way sometimes. But in the terms of yours, maybe you might want to wait for Paul to figure that out. Or maybe Paul's like, no, that's not who I am. I want to actually run as a more powerful business level. You may be, Danielle, wanting to step back more into the love role. And I don't know if that's your case or not.
I don't know. I'm really torn, actually.
That's okay. You're a 4. You want to think about things. Consider it. See what happens. See what pops out to you eventually. But I don't blame you. Okay, so let's leave it as it is right now. And then if you do feel like I don't like flip a coin in the air, call it in the air, and then just basically be like, you know what? I'm just going to run Danielle Wilkinson. And if you can't sit with that, it's because you should take a GP or a Y. You should take a letter in there. So if you can't say fuck yes, and that's the most powerful 2 words anyone can ever say in their life. If you know this for sure, you would just say, I don't know. That's it. I know it. That's what you want. If you're hesitant, there's a reason why. And it could be that you need to take this name for business and this name for personal, or this name for 2018, 2019, and this name for 2020. There could be a transition phase that makes it more reasonable. You know what? Maybe let's go all business for my business, and let me reach down a little bit and be more balanced in my personal life. There's nothing wrong with that. Think about it. And if we want to come back to you, you're cool. If not, then hey, wow, what a number. Just get ready for the long haul. So how about Scott? Okay, so any other questions, Danielle?
No, that's all right. Thank you.
I'm not feeling Roxy T stock. It feels weird. I want to make sure I have the most powerful name for my business page. Okay, so Roxy, let's come back to you. Okay, let's make sure that we come back to this when we circle around again. Because if you're not feeling it, then we absolutely want to, like 2019, if you were to take this, would be the most powerful vibration for business in 2019. In 2020, you may be thinking of something longer term or something a bit bigger. But if you're feeling like, no, we need to change it around, then absolutely we will. Okay, so what we'll do is we're just going to put it back to Roxy stock. And then by the end of this, we'll come back for you and make sure it shows up. So it was 336, right? So it was going like this, 336. And let's put it in blue. There's no shame in saying, there's better value in doing that because, hey, this is your life. This is how you choose. So if it takes you a day or 2 to figure it out, I'm not worried, okay? I just want to make sure we at least get everybody figured out. So, Scott, sorry, did you want to add, Roxy?
No, I just wanted to say thanks. Yeah, I'm just confused about what the best thing to do is, because Roxy's my self-imposed nickname that I've called myself for so long, but Roseanne is my real name. And I've always kind of felt like a bit of an imposter being Roxy when my family call me Roseanne. So yeah, so there's a little bit of confusion there, I guess, and I just want to make sure that I get the right fit for my business page.
So right now, Roseanne stock is actually a valuable vibe. And then you take in, like Roseanne stock works. This is one of these. So it actually has an ambition and leadership, and it wants to continue forward and make money and absolutely be ambitious. So you could take just Roseanne stock because it's authentic. There's a thing there that says, why don't I feel it? What's going on here? Like, why do I feel disingenuous? It's because your actual name is holding a power for you that does not need alignment. It is a naturally occurring alignment in the universe. So you may feel that, or if you want to take the BK or the T, it'll put you up here, 538, same thing again. So you've got some power inside of your middle name, and even inside of Roxy stock. Just this one doesn't speak for business. Roseanne stock does. So you can still take
Al stock.
Sorry?
What about Al is my middle initial? Roseanne
Yeah,
Al
sorry.
stock.
I know. Sorry, I tried it. I know I tried it because everybody wants their name, right? In order to have it, it would be like LX or LF or LO. Okay, so really, yeah, something to think about inside of that. Okay.
Yeah.
How about?
I end up doing a one-on-one with you.
I understand. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that happens there. You guys aren't going to pay full price. So make sure anybody who wants to work with me one-on-one, we're not booking through my site. You're just messaging me. And then that way we'll make sure that you guys get your, special exclusive group rate. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But I'll ask you guys to do that with me alone. Okay. So we're going to leave it as it is for now. And then just know that Roseanne stock is actually there and it works for you in a very powerful way. So we're just going to put a nice little heart here. Okay. So you have it. That's you. You don't need a letter for that, okay? And stepping into your true power is one of the most beautiful things that anyone can do in their life. Let's go back. Let's go now back to Sky. So, Scott, okay, we've got some powerful options here for you. You're using 2 different names. And as we looked at this before a second ago, you were like exactly like boom, like I figured you out. The life path 11, there's an angel connotation to this. There's a spiritual connotation to this, hiding underneath a very powerful business leader and a very powerful person who wants to connect with others. Whoa, that got big. So that feeling is inside of there. Okay, so we have still getting used to my Mac. If you like triple click on stuff, it just gets really big. So we've got a value inside of here that will show up as connected and spiritual for others. I would probably, if this was my life and I was an 11, which I am, and I'm dealing with the things that you're 281, look at that. That's my first name, 281. I know what you're dealing with, okay? So that feeling is inside of there. I would probably be looking at the letter A, J, or S. Those are probably the set I would look at if you want to balance out Sky Williams. Hey, look, Sky J. Williams. Boom. Absolutely authentic. Can I put that there? Can we do that? Is that a thing? Can I actually do this for you? Or are you thinking about something else? Because this looks hot. This is good. And you can actually get away with this on a credit card. I would imagine it probably already shows up this way. If you need to change this, absolutely. But Sky Jade Williams, now here's an issue. The only real thing you could do to this is adding a J or an S to Jade. So Sky Jade J Williams or Sky J S Williams will move you into balance for 2019. But then there's also something to be said about who Sky J Williams is. So just in case this isn't the number, let me know. But you got to let me know what you're doing with this, because this is a problem. Super sweet, very hardworking, doesn't say anything. Wants to have business, definitely wants to work hard, doesn't want to work hard. Just wants to have fun, very loyal to others, doesn't speak up for itself. This is a problem. Sky J Williams is actually your name. So this is a legal feeling for you, I would imagine, okay, that this actually shows up. But if it does, unmute yourself. If you want to pick a letter, let me know. If it wasn't, I would suggest that you use this for your business page. This is a queen. This is the queen vibe, the power woman. This is the woman who got her family, she got her business, her partnership, everything works. If you see a 696, this is a woman who's mastered her craft. So we absolutely see power in this. What do you got for me, Sky? Help me out here.
Yeah, that nailed it.
Boom. What about for business?
So I'll do the same.
Yeah, you will. Okay, so let's take this all out. I'm going to clean you up, and we're going to make sure. What about Danny? She's still figuring it out. So let's go Sky. We're going to put the J in there, and this is you. It's already you. Like, imagine my thought, thinking all these weird letters. Of course I'm going to take the letter F. Like, no, thank you. Maybe there might be a day where I go Bobby Q or Bobby Z. I don't even know. Bobby's Perihar. I don't even get it. But the reality is that this number will absolutely do wonderful things for you. The higher you are on the scale, the more advanced I want you in your personal development, than long-term thinking and planning. And the more patience you want to have. If you're like, shit, I just want to get some money right now and get stuff happening, you may be looking at speed over longevity, okay? There's a powerful, like, first and second and third gear, but that's not your top-end speed once you're on the highway. So there's a value in the difference between the two. Don't worry about strategy. I mean, don't worry about one or the other. If you can take both or whatever it looks like, we got that. Okay, so Kirsten. Let's take a look at Kirsten Lee Kilgore. And this is going to be a very powerful switch that we're going to put inside for you. The C or the L will push you into a vibration of value in there. There's another one there. What about the U? Someone's drawing on the page, just trying to scroll around, I guess. And what I'm going to do is just going to clear it. Oh, thank you for clearing that, whoever did that. So it happens by accident. I get it. Whatever. No big deal. So what we've got here is a number that shows up that wants to do something. So if it's not the C or the L, it would be that's the U. It would be the U. We're not going to use that. Another one would be A. So if it was A, you'd be going here, which means there's a like Kirsten A. Lee Kilgore. You use three names. So the only way to balance this out with a single letter is to move them all with an extra initial. You can unmute yourself and let me know if this is how it wants to go down. But I would imagine that maybe just the first name and the like the last name, Kirsten Kilgore with an initial, would work.
Yeah, I'm happy to look at all options. I just feel like I want to get back into a leadership role, my freedom role, kick ass this business, get everything into a total alignment. So yeah, totally willing to look at all options that's going to really put me into empowerment.
Okay, so empowering you right now, this is a more serious vibe, and then on your business, it's the more fun vibe. So it would be lifestyle designer or lifestyles designer or lifestyle.
I'm happy to get rid of that lifestyle design altogether and just keep it consistent with Kirsten, whatever.
Okay, so so what we're gonna do is let's just rebuild this, and let's go Kirsten Kilgore, and we're gonna see here 549, and then what we'll do is we'll add something to this. So the value for this would be F or X here, which says ambition, leadership, and family. Then the letter O says stability, structure, and partnership. And then the next one would be H, Q, or Z. So this is the value inside of here. And this one would show up as, let's just have fun in 2019, and we'll figure out serious play for next year. And that may be the most powerful thing you can do in 2019 is to take Kirsten H or Kirsten Q or Kirsten Z Kilgore, run this year to 6A, like fly to 6A.
My goal is to fly. This is not all about fun this year. Like last year was all up and down, traveling, digi nomad, climbing trees, which I still do. But no, it's all about empowerment. It's about building my team, getting to 6A. Yeah, really being focused.
So really being focused, there could be a power inside of this. It's kind of like a little whirlpool. Or if you want to look at a more powerful number and think more long term, instead of just the short term. In the short term, an H, a Q, or a Z beside Kirsten Kilgore will actually like just run you to 6A. When you get there, you may be feeling like this doesn't fit anymore. I need something more powerful to lead my team. That's
okay. All right. Yeah. Right now, I want to run to 6A. Like run.
So are we cool to take the H right now?
Which one was that? The H? Oh, yep. I will go with anything. I've got my goals. I've got my intentions. I want to run to 6A.
I understand. So this is like push through the comfort zone. Let's just enjoy. Let's show up social. We're magnetized towards the year. Everything is set towards like slingshot towards your goal. So it's going to be like a time for not as much strategy as a more time for saying, let's just throw a bunch of stuff here and there and make a post and spend the money and figure it out and and just do a bunch of stuff and be super ambitious. So to match.
Super ambitious, cool. Which I am. Cause I'm the number one as well. So I like being a leader, but I really want to be super focused.
Okay, cool. So then this may not last you forever. So let's just call it what it is. You may end up coming to a place where you're like, thank you, Bobby, but I'm ready to move towards the next stage of my life. When that happens in a year or 2 years, it may never happen. You just may be like, you know what, I'm having fun like this, and let's just keep the good times going. Then keep the H. Get it. But if you want to move up a little bit higher, we've got some work to do. I would probably imagine it's going to be Kristen Lee or something else with it, or something going on that will move you to the higher numbers. But you don't be afraid if you never get there. If you're feeling like I've made all the money I need and I'm in a happy place and I travel all the time and I don't take myself too seriously, I'm just let's stick with this. Yeah, 5, 3, and 1. Guess what's showing up in here? 5 and 3. The feeling is in there. So absolutely.
Freedom.
That's freedom. Absolutely. Okay, cool. So I like it. Okay, so Shannon, let's take a look at Shannon's numbers. Shannon's a little bit more on the serious side unless we really dive to get down to the low. Shannon, you've got a power inside of you that keeps you very like solid and super logical and wants to create things for people. But then there's a feeling in there that also has adventure in it. So what I would be suggesting is this is a tough call. Really, either way you go, it's not going to ruin you. But let's just see what you have going on here. Sharon Louise, can we pick an L? No. Okay, so it's an A, a J, or an S. Either you value more into feminine and power, or you value more into the masculine version of business, spirituality, and balance between family and power. So depending on which way you want to go, we can. I'd love to get your feedback on this to see if one of these appeals to you. Guys, sign your name.
Yeah.
Sign it out.
So what's the difference between those two numbers?
9, humanity. 6, family. Another 6, master woman. This is a mastery vibe for women in power. Then 876 is the one that I have, business, spirit, and then family. So for me, I'm thinking, absolutely, I want that one. And I'm a kind of spiritual kind of guy, no big deal.
Yeah, it's the second one.
Okay, cool. A J or an S?
I've already got S and Shannon, so I'm thinking J.
Shannon J. Harris. Powerful.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage. This is power. Oh, man.
Oh, no, now I've seen it written down and I want the S.
No worries.
Sorry.
Shannon S. Harris.
Yeah, that's it.
You could even do something like this. Shannon Harris. Okay, so just in case.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
like,
okay.
So what we'll do is we'll just put it as an initial for now. And if I see you with Shannon Harris with 2 S's, then I know what happened. Okay, so we're going to change this to purple. But the feeling is that, well, you may not like the letter. So absolutely it's there for you. But wow, man, this is so cool. Like, I'm just watching you guys. Like, I know this. I know what the power of this is. You guys are in for a very, very wonderful run in life. Okay, whether it takes you a day, whether it takes you 3 years, I don't care. The reality is that you're going somewhere powerful in life. Does the H include a spiritual side at all? Let's see here. Let's put it inside of your chart. Not really. It's not that you're going to be disconnected from spirituality, but the power inside of it is more into the passion and ambition and the running in the ground. Your names individually may show up with spirituality one at a time, and that's where you're probably like, well, shoot, I don't want to just get rid of spirituality. This isn't that. It's just showing up. So it shows up as fun and enjoyable, and then next thing you know, it can grow deeper. Most of the time it does. Would be something we talk about inside of our personal time together. But we can maybe take a look at it at the end if I'm not like passing out. It's 2:30 in the morning, so I'm going to absolutely love you guys and appreciate you guys. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to do group session. I was like, hey, it's all good. I've done like 4 or 5 of them now, and I'm like, trying to sleep during the day. You guys give me so much energy and love. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm like, holy crap, it's 2:30 in the morning. I realize that it's late, but at the same time, I got a newborn, so we're up at this time anyway. My wife is like, I'll see you when you get done. I'm like, I know you will. I'm having more fun than you are for sure, but the reality is that she's with my son. So it's a very powerful feeling inside of what we're doing today. You guys all, I just love giving, so don't worry about me. So we're going to take a look at Lorraine. Now, this is a wonderful number. This thing says God. Okay, Lone, I appreciate you, brother. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Lorraine's number. When I look at the word God, I see the number 628. So if you got a value inside of here, there's a very spiritual context. If you got a name that says this is a very loving care of like overarching support for the globe. Okay, so you care. You absolutely care. You're a wizard. There's a family woman. There's a partner in here. There's a sincere value inside of this chart, okay? It's also matching the name, Lorraine Monroe, 2 equals 2. Is it working towards your advantage? Not so much. Works really hard, way too hard, gives it all away. How about wants to have business, but can't help sacrificing to everyone else and just wants to look good and feel good? This can lead you to a really nasty drinking habit. So just so we understand that that's there. What we want to do is we want to take a look at this. I lined up both for you, Happy is Free and the Providore. One of them works. Happy is Free, Lorraine Monroe. One of them doesn't. The Providore does not work, and it's such a cool sounding name that it's unfortunate, because if you were to put a letter on top of that, you could put like the Providore V or the Providore D or the M Providore or the O Providore. It just doesn't sound as cool. Whereas with Happy is Free Lorraine Monroe, if you put a D, an M, or a V on top of that, so Happy is Free Lorraine D Monroe, that will work. I still suggest, guys, that you stick with the value inside of your original name. Do not do this. Don't do this. On a business page, people will see your name, they'll see it, and they're going to be like, oh, another one of those things. And they're going to unsee, unlike, and it will ruin your stats. Because Facebook doesn't like it when people unhide or hide your ads. And if they see somebody that says that inside of their business, Happy is Free, Freedom Team, Work for You, Lifestyle, Dream Builder, whatever it is, they're going to get the intuition that it's a business and that this person is trying to sell me something. So in the reality of things, Happy is Free, Lorraine Monroe works numerologically. I don't know how you say that. But the feeling is that will actually work. In case you're like, nope, too bad. I already got the mugs made. I got the t-shirts coming. I got the business cards. I've laminated them. I've spent money on this. This is how it works. Then, okay, I get it. It's a very hustling, good-looking vibration. But at the same time, we're looking to get you guys like in power. So what I would do with Lorraine Monroe would be taking the F or the X, but isn't there another one? Like, isn't there something else that can work? Lorraine, any thoughts so far?
Well, the first thing I want to say, Bobby, and I don't care, we're all friends here, is that I've actually been in rehab 3 times. So I did have a really, really heavy drinking problem, and I'm actually okay, and I've found God, and yeah, that's all I can say about that at the moment.
Well,
because I've probably overshared, but like you know, it is amazing because you have, like, you've hit the nail on the head with exactly what you've just said in the last 2 minutes. So you've got me panned out there, but I'm happy to get rid of the old Happy is Free and the Providore. It's just that the reason I chose the Providore is because I actually want to save people, and I want to provide for them, and that's where that came from, Bobby.
I appreciate that. No, I can see this is what happens. Like, the 3 just wants to dumb itself down, and the 8 is dealing with an overarching sense of intelligence that you need to disconnect. And then the body like, well, this is my new oxygen. And then I look at your numbers. I'm like, you're not going to realize the value of this until somewhere between 27 and 55, and the area there where it comes into fruition. Because up until then, the numbers are lopsided. It takes a full life to actually encompass the whole vibe. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. Absolutely wonderful. But this will really plug that hole open. Okay. Yeah. Look at this. No such thing as oversharing. Look at the love that's pouring into you there. I've been down that road. I absolutely know what it's like to lock myself in my room with $120 worth of blow and a bag full of weed and some mushrooms and have a freaking cocktail. And just like live and then work the next day. That's let's not go there. But absolutely, we can cry together if you need to. Absolutely, you can cry here if you need to. But there's strength in truth and transparency. Thank you, Rachel, for me, the amount of empowerment to share that with people. I was like, woo. So if you really want to help people and you really want to change the world, it would probably be the F or the X, Lorraine F or Lorraine X Monroe for now. Once you really step into the true power of what that really means to create some wealth, you may be switching to the 988, the Lorraine O. Monroe. But in the meantime, I'd probably suggest you're much, much easier to take in the 358, the F or the X. And then the Providore is really like a name for global visionary. I want to help people. I want to change the world. And so that is inside of there. But 2019, you got a powerful run to 6A inside of an F. Granted, you have a lot of fun. Any thoughts? Do you want to pick something? Do either of those work, or do you want to keep diving in somewhere deeper?
No, I'm happy to go with the X but it's really funny because I had already declared that 2019 was the year of fun, and I'm I'm a really conservative person normally. When I haven't got a drink in my hand, I'm really conservative, and that's when the fun side actually came out. Well, the fun didn't last for too long when I started drinking, but no, I like the X, and 2019 is the year of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that and declaring that and understanding what that means. Absolutely so cool. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. We're going to put this as your business name as well. Let's even this out back into the green, baby. This is excellent. This is exactly what I want. We're not just dealing with business anymore, guys. This is like real life shit we happening here, okay? The Galaxy S7 Edge. Wonderful phone. Oh, I love that phone. I remember that phone so beautifully. It's sending you lots of love and light and healing. You may want to change your name on on your Zoom handle, but absolutely, I love the phone. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Paul now, and let's take a look here because we're not really feeling what I had to say. So the 9 shows up as a humanitarian sense of love. The 2 shows up as a value of partnership, and the 1 shows up as a power of leadership. So 3. Just mute that for a second, and then we'll come back and unmute you in a second. Oh, it's because both of you guys have your phones on, so it's catching feedback. So one of you guys mute, or the other one mute, or you both mute until you're ready to talk. But we can't have both speakers and both microphones on. It'll work easier with just one. But there's some power inside of it. Okay, so it would be wonderful to take a look inside of a real chart. Put the 3 is power, 9 is loving, caring, service to others. The 2 shows up as partnership. The 1 shows up as leadership. With a 639, there can be a very valuable feel in business with the H, the Q, or the Z. Or if you're thinking about the F or the X, let me know which one appeals to you, or do we want to even look a little bit further and take a look at Paul Christopher?
Yeah, have a look. I don't sort of know a whole lot about it, and I'm about to go into Gaz when Danielle hits 4A, so haven't really looked at a business name as such, but yeah, I guess whatever you think would work best.
Well, what's going on? Like, what's the deal? Like, what are you trying to accomplish in life? I'm just trying to see here if I can figure something else out. We're gonna go, like, how about Chris Erickson? No. How about Christopher Erickson? Yeah, it does work. Your original name has a very powerful feel to it. Paul Christopher Erickson. It will hustle and work hard and be a stabilizing force, but it also considers business. That 8 wants to think like an entrepreneur. The 5 wants to hustle, but the 4 wants to reserve and see its way through. People like this will say things like, when you get to a certain rank, I'll join, or then I'll get there. And it's not a bad thing. It just means that you want to see this thing through. So you may be looking at these names like, I don't know, like why doesn't it work, or why I'm not feeling it? It's because your actual name has power. You wanted to take this thing a little bit higher. Who else had an 854 that we can quickly lean on? Did anyone else? Sorry?
Trudy down the bottom.
Trudy did here. Was that was at the beginning? Yeah, so not here on this side. Right, yeah. It was. I think it was the one. I think Lorraine happy is free. So if you were to take 854, you could take a B, a K, or a T, and go Paul B. Christopher Erickson, or Paul Christopher T. Erickson, or Paul K. Christopher Erickson. You can even do like this: Paul Christopher Erickson, like that. Okay, with an extra K in there, or even an extra T in Christopher, but there's a feeling inside of adding the B, the K, or the T that moves you up into this. And it seems like you're a pretty solid looking kind of guy. Like it's not like you're too flashy or like you're calm. I get the energy is very like inviting. And so there could be just that feeling of like, I want to make sure this is right. So if you're not feeling these, it could be that we need to like connect together on a private or a one-on-one.
Well, we were Danielle and I were planning on doing it anyway, and basically, perhaps if I was to choose one, it would be X, given that Danielle and I were considering obviously having the same surname. So
let's leave it there for now, and then if it does decide to want to change later, we can, but you bring in the heart. So this name will be very powerful with Danielle Wilkinson, but when she takes the last name and she goes into Erickson, then you're going to want to rearrange the name. Okay, so just so not you, Paul.
Actually, we were thinking of changing, both of us changing our surnames altogether.
Cool,
so
that's awesome.
We're actually thinking of going with maybe something like Worth or Worthy or something that was significant.
Sure, I completely like. You mean legally and everything? That's a big move. Please, guys, invest in a session with me, a power couple, or at least one-on-one. Let's figure out what the right name to use. The last thing you want is a name that says not the same thing as what it reads in numerology. It'll be confusing. So what we'll do is we'll place hold with an X. And if it does decide to change, or you get a feeling or a nudge from the missus, and it's like, nope, take something else, this will work exquisitely with an 898. 696 and 898 is like bread and butter, baby. These things will absolutely work in balance. So it's a very wonderful feeling to see that. Okay, so just so you know, you're sitting pretty with a name like that. Okay, this is a good feel. It says king. It says balance of the home and also balance of the business. There's a love here. There's a wonderful feeling of love in here. And if it could also be the F, but this is basically how it works. Okay.
Well, I did think F, and that was simply because of the F-bomb factor, but X probably sounds a little bit closer to the cause.
Cool. I like it. Okay. And just so you guys know, X is a numerological alignment for spiritual meets the real. So there could be a coming together, a crossroad of two very powerful dimensions that happen to align themselves inside of your name. So really, really wonderful stuff. I love it. Okay, cool. Any other questions, let me know and just interrupt me.
Yep, just let us know how we hook up for the the one-on-one later on after you're done.
Yep, sure, absolutely. We'll make sure we get that done for you. So when we take a look at, so let's take a look at Natasha's numbers now. And what we'll do is we're going to take a look at this. So you said before we were nailing the head on this. Okay, so we've got a 6 and a 3, a 6 and a 3. There's a 3, a 6 and a 3. There's so much care and give to others that this isn't working for us. What I would be suggesting is to take the 1, 3, 4 and to put something else on it. These things will be like, there's one, this is a super social, and then there's a super quiet, but I don't know, something about it may feel like you want to be here or you want to be here. Let me know, and then we'll quickly just pop in another name in there, like Newton or something else in there to balance it out, or Tasha. You can use another form of
a lot of people do call me Tash, and I was just thinking on the Instagram account it says Keith Tash Lancaster, but with the Facebook with Keith Natasha Lancaster, I was wondering, could it change to K-T Lancaster or T-K Lancaster? Otherwise, just to be a bit cheeky, be Natasha Lancaster.
T-N Lancaster?
Yeah, like there's the K and the T. Can you use 2 letters out of it or just 1?
Yeah, we can basically do whatever we want. If you want to put 2 letters in there, we can. We can come up with a completely new name if you need to. But
that's what I was thinking, if we went K-T Lancaster or T-K Lancaster.
Hold on. It would be K and T Lancaster. So it would show up like this. K and T, let's just do this. And T Lancaster. This one would show up as an 898. So it would have an umbrella feel towards your business between both of you, but you would need both of you in there to run it. Okay, so this isn't something you would do by yourself. This is a very, very powerful name. If it wasn't this, then we would put in something else like a G, a P, or a Y, to make it, to bring it back down to love range of like power couple. So this is definitely a supremely powerful name. If you're not feeling it and you're like, it's a bit too far, then absolutely let's change it again. But
I am fine with it. The only thing is, at the moment, it's just me that would be doing it.
That's okay. That doesn't matter. The thing is that you're Life Path 8. So for you to have a name that says double 8s, you're training yourself for 55 and above. That 8 over 8 that happens when you're older, you bring that in now on the business front. It would require this thing to take a D, an M, or a V. If you want to talk about Tash or Tasha Lancaster, now's the time. Or do you like the D, the M, or the V?
Maybe the V. I'm not sure. Otherwise,
actually, here it is. If you just how about Tash Lancaster? Was that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That to most people. So
that's who you are, and this is a wonderful feeling of being naturally aligned. You don't need to change or put an initial there. So this is a very wonderful feeling for you. I would say that you're set with numbers like these. You don't actually have to use initials. If you're cool with that, this thing will balance a lot of the stuff that's happening in your life. And at the same time, this takes care of the self-love dilemma, that feeling of serving yourself.
It's a big one of those.
Big one there. Okay, so there's a powerful feeling underground and there's a powerful feeling above ground, or inside the self and outside into the audience. You're set. This thing is super powerful. Awesome. The Life Path.
Sorry to interrupt. Just with the end, would we use the symbol or do we need to write the actual word?
Andy, if you put this, it's different. Don't substitute those, guys.
Okay.
I will come up with A and D. I will come up with N. Okay, there's a power to do X or with, but we're talking about A and D. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Love it. Thank you.
Absolutely, very powerful. You're very welcome. Okay, cool. So let's talk about Vanessa. And Vanessa, my other Life Path 1, what's up? There's a leader in here. We've got a very strong leader right now who's not taking care of herself. She's taking care of everyone else. So what we want to do is we want to find a name that's going to work. You have 2 options. This is actually what you show up as on Facebook. So I recognize that this is actually your Facebook name. So you're not running Vanessa Brown right now. You're going with Vanessa Fentane Antonakopoulos. Okay, so what's the deal here? Are we going to move this over with, I don't know, like if you're using this, we need to put another letter in there. If you want to shorten it down, let me know. We can rebuild this. But this one, you got a choice of taking the F, the X, or the O and going super serious. So just in case those do show up, let me know if you're like, yeah, Vanessa Fontaine O or Vanessa Fontaine X or F will work with all of these letters combined? Or do you want to, does one of them fit, or do you want to rebuild the name with a first and last name with an initial?
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm completely confused. I know that it's confusing how it's set up. I don't know how to show me on this Zoom.
How do you show you? Okay, let me just double check this. So as a 652 life path 1, the F or the X in total will work. But then if you're also keen on it, is this last name your like the last name that you're married to, or do we want to use Brown? What's going on?
So Antonopoulos is my married name, which I would like to use. Yeah.
Okay, that's ANTONAKOPOULOS, right?
Yes.
Cool. So, okay, what we would do with this is tough because this is a 999. So there's a lot of spiritual overwhelm in this that can make you feel very invisible. So what we want to do is we're going to keep the F or the X, but in this case, the F or the X will take you here, F or X, like Vanessa F. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, what about Vanessa F. Antonopoulos?
Thank you. This is your naturally occurring vibration. Sorry, I'm a little late. Sometimes I'm not paying attention, but this is
No, it's fine. You're amazing, Bobby.
You're amazing. Look at this.
So much.
Oh, you're very welcome. I appreciate you. Absolutely. This is a wonderful.
Yay! Mastery. Bang.
This is the mastery, and this is also going to serve yourself. Like, this is a very powerful feel. And hey, it's your name. You actually have a chance of showing up like this in legal areas. So I would probably suggest that at some point you drop the middle name legally and you just take the letter F. If that ever becomes relevant, we'll talk. Okay? But wow. As a leader, to show up as a master woman, which has power in leadership and care for the universe, there's going to be some sincerely big things happening for you for sure. Just give yourself a bit of patience. This is a big, long-term, like you can't build a queendom in a year. This is a 2 to 3 year run, but you're absolutely going to push yourself there, and it's a wonderful feeling, okay? So I absolutely love it. If you need something to work a little bit faster, I would probably want to have words with you because this is super too powerful to not. And then there's that feeling inside of the 4 inside that says, let's do this right. I want to do this once. I want to do this right. So we're going to see that inside of there, okay? How about Rebecca? So Rebecca's going to be here. I remember you telling me that I was right with some of your numbers, so I appreciate the recognition there. What I'm seeing here is that this thing serves a lot of other people until, yeah, that's right, until at the end it just sort of like squeezes off into its own. So again, the same thing you have available for you, I would probably lean into Rebecca D, Rebecca M, or Rebecca V, just to take a look. Oh, it's Rebecca E. So we don't have the E available. But this is the Goldilocks zone. This would be a little bit more business, and this would be all business. Okay, so this one holds love and business in harmony. Any thoughts or any questions, concerns? Do you like one of these letters? If you're still with us, let me know. You can write in there. If not, we're just going to leave it here for now. Can't hear you. Can't see you.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, what's up?
Okay. I was talking, but nothing came out. So I was looking at O just because that's the initial of my son's name.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then I was looking at the X, but then it was in the black zone, and I was like, oh, I'm already in the black zone. I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you may want to get there at a certain point, but the fact that you said son makes me feel like you're probably going to want to maintain a lane in family as opposed to abolishing it all and just going into the business and hiring a babysitter. I'll see you in 5 years and we'll live the life of our dreams then.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
I understand. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Rebecca O. Cheeseman, and what is that, like Ollie?
Oliver, yeah.
Oliver, there you go. So we got a valuable feeling inside of here. And if you ever decide to take on the X or the F, then we're sitting pretty for sure. But make some money first. This will balance everything out for sure. I absolutely love balancing numbers. Inside of, actually, yeah, these ones really take care of the whole self-love problem. So in case we're giving more and more of ourselves to others than ourselves, this number will start to say, hey, I'm important too. I absolutely want to do this thing for as well. So wonderful. Rebecca O. Cheeseman, absolutely powerful and romantic to your family. Okay, I like it. How about Rachel? So let's go to Rachel Lee. So this number here has a dual name, right? We would love to talk about what happened inside of Rachel Lee Branch. If you do have another last name you're using, that's a powerful feeling as well. But there's two options here, are they? So the first one would be an A, J, or an S. So this one would definitely move you into global vision. Whereas with this one, I didn't line up M with an extra initial. I was just considering that we would drop the M and then add another letter. But if you're not cool with that, you're like, well, what do I add to M to figure this out? It would be, ooh, come on, what do you got, Bobby? D, M, or V. Whew. So Rachel MV, Rachel MD, or Rachel MV, okay? Or D, M, or V, or Rachel MM, okay? So you could take it like this, or like this, or like this, depending on how you want to keep this. Otherwise, this one here, you would add Rachel H. Lee, or Rachel Q, or Rachel Z. Lee, or if you want, we can rebuild it with your last name. Up to you. What do you think?
I chose M because Mutton is my actual surname. So just for authenticity, I wanted to have M for Mutton as my surname, but obviously I've changed my brand for obvious reasons. Yeah, D is my initial of my husband's name, so maybe it could be Rachel M.D. Lee.
M.D. Lee. I like it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely authentic. It feels good. It's a sign of value, and you push yourself into the value of this. Can you take this for your personal page too, or are we going to design something else?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you. Okay, cool. I can't wait. I cannot wait. This is okay. So Sasha, let's talk about this. Okay, so we've got a far fall. Look at this, Sasha Ann Johnson showing up as a mastery vibe. You've got these numbers inside of your chart, but then Sasha Talon turns you into a fighter spirit. Okay, so there's an imbalance that's showing up here that can show up as more chaos than you're like considerably welcoming. The 8 and the 6 in your chart, like, come on. You absolutely value family and absolutely value wealth and absolutely value long-term worth and hard work and care for others. So to show up as a double fighter, this is like we're fighting ourselves. Other people argue with us. We just can't seem to get it together. And it can feel very, very difficult to run this. In business, this is a no-no. So absolutely, this is not the vibe we want to run with. And if you're okay to take a letter, my opinion would be Sasha J or Sasha S as a value that would work for you now. Hey, look, Sasha A is a wonderful name.
So what would the difference with the A and the J be?
So when we talk about Sasha A. Talon, we're looking at independent leadership, passion, and woman family, okay? When we're looking at J or S, Sasha J or Sasha S, we're looking at humanitarian, woman, and power woman in leadership. So, I mean, this one's more focused on the self, and this one's more focused on the vision. This could take you far places in 2019, but this is something you may be leaning towards long term. I would say that there should be a time in the sun to say Sasha Talon, because that's your name. There's a value there. So there's a wondrous connection between the 5 of your feisty and the 6 of your long term. This is it, Sasha A. Talon. So it's a wonderful feeling. So that's absolutely wonderful in there. But towards the higher, more valuable sides, you could be taking the J and the S, or eventually moving into the C and the L. But what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. What did you say the J and the S meant?
The J are going to lean towards humanity, care to others, a giant sense of heart, and let's build this thing. It says queen, whereas 1, 5, 6 is like warrior leader. Okay, so it wants to be very ambitious and absolutely wants to show up as a woman. But this one is like less ambition, more long term. We're building something here. So it's really a matter of speed. In case you're not really too, like, I don't really know, then what I would suggest is that let's take both for now, and you take your actual name and you show up with authenticity. And on your business page, you ramp it up a little bit and see which one takes the lead. You may end up pulling people to, or what is it, J or S, yeah? So we go to J, or unless you like the S. So Sasha J. Talon, is going to have a very powerful feel for women. And now you don't have to choose. You get a chance to actually run them both, and nobody's worried about it. Unless you're feeling like, nah, let's do something else. Now's the time to speak up.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea, and just see how they both run.
Yeah, and then that way you can get a chance to see it a little bit down the road and see if it changes on you. But really cool. Okay, so we're going to go back to Rachel. Where does the MD leave me in the colored zone, Bobby? So the MD would go right here. Okay, so it would go like this. M plus D. So, oh, that doesn't even work. It thinks I'm trying to do something in there. Ugh. Just go MD. Let's just do it like that. And then that way we're not worried about it. So in the colored zone, you're looking here. Okay, this is a wonderful, or did we do it? I think, wait, I think I mixed up the line. So it's Rachel MD right here. So MD. And then for MD. And then for Rebecca, it was O, right? O for 966. Cool. This is going to be very valuable for me when we do our private sessions, and I get a chance to look back at this and see where we leave off. Natasha's saying, I'm wondering with mine, the scary, with mine, I put myself in severe challenges, scary. So we're going to take a look back there at, where is it? Hold on, did I lose it? Natasha. Were you up there? How come I can't?
Yeah, KNT Lancaster.
Sorry, and we looked at Tash. Woo. Okay, so yes, there are severe challenges, but at the same time, your life path is 8. This will be your most magnetic field. If you're feeling like it's too much, you can put a G or a P or a Y, KNTG or KNTY, Lancaster. So that's a feeling in there, or we can keep moving it through. But I when I look at 8s, I almost assume that these people want to work with me multiple times or on a private level.
Yeah, I'm already wanting to.
There you go. So you may just sit on this and see if something else emerges before we're done.
Okay.
But something to consider. Okay. So we're approaching the 3-hour mark, guys. Let's absolutely get it running. And let's take a look at Royson. So now, Royson, you're sitting pretty. I would definitely want to move this around to a. Actually, wait. Hold on a second. This is tough because look at this: 6, 2, and 8. Until you're 55, Royson S or Royson J O'Connor is going to be the sweet spot. If you're looking for a change, you're like, yeah, well, how come it's, like, what's going on there? What we would do is we would elevate the S to an HQ or a Z and move you more into the feminine, which would master around your 6. But at the same time, this thing works really well. Any thoughts? Do you feel like you're not ready for a new letter? Or do you feel like one of these is going to be a fine replacement to the S?
Thank you so much for everything you're doing. I'm not sure. I'm ready for change if it will bring me more into my power.
That's a tough call because actually no, it's not a tough call. The HQ or Z will do that. It will bring you more into your power. But at the same time, let's just take a quick look here. Your power right now, 8/6. I beg to differ. Royson S. O'Connor would be a very powerful move. In case you're thinking, well, maybe I should just split test this. Either come up with a page that says H or change one or the other. And then that way you can get at least some level of a switch. But if stagnant, I need to move, I need a shift, something needs to change, then absolutely we'll change the S into an H. But if you want my personal opinion, this is a long-term move you're in. And it may take you up until 55 to really actualize the power in this. Sometimes you get a little impatient in life saying, well, I want it now. Like, I want things to happen right now, like yesterday. So, again, 2019, have a lot of fun. This is a year to run. But don't forget that you're thinking long-term. Like, you care. You're willing to give up a sale if the authenticity and integrity is not there. You care about others. This is a long game move. So, in case you're okay with it, if you are feeling it, what's the magnet telling you?
That I'd be okay with H.
Okay, let's take it. And if you change your mind later, we're absolutely cool to have it, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take Royson H. O'Connor. Let's move you into queen as opposed to God. And this feeling is more into the feminine. I look at these words, hey? Queen and God. It's like, Bobby, what the hell? The feeling is really serious. So absolutely, I understand that there's a power in this to allow you to emerge into your true powers of Life Path 6. So let's let love create the profits. Instead of trying to talk business, this is going to be more about the care for your family. Now let's go and move on to, if you have any questions, Royson, let me know. Let's move over to loans numbers. Okay, so I was, actually, wait, before that, Megan says, sorry, can you explain my 786 again? See how the 7, okay, so when we looked at Megan G, or Megan Garino, it was 718. When we look at Megan G Garino, it's 786. The only difference is the 6 and the 1. Both are intuitive, both are quiet, both are business focused. One's focused on the self without the GP or Y. One's focused on the community with the GP or Y. So I would recommend that this holds more space. Imagine 6 stands for 2 pieces of love, 2 pieces of business, whereas 1 stands for 3 pieces of ego or a sense of self. So to hold more value of connection and power and service to others, absolutely the 786 is going to be a much more powerful vibe. I call the 876, 786, I call them all-star. All-star stands for, intuition, stands for business, stands for family. It's the 3 top numbers on the block without going too low, going too high. It's the sweet spot, the Goldilocks effect. I am biased towards it, so please take that into consideration. If you guys are taking those numbers, I have a personal feeling like, oh man, you got to take this one. It's the one for you, and that may be your path or it may just be my own ego thinking, trust me, this is the one that works. I mean, I would like to mark out your name as well, but in this case, or your numbers for your names as well. But in this case, if it comes down to it, I probably might suggest that spending a half an hour or an hour together privately to really dive in deep, we may uncover some stuff. Okay, so let's go over to my bro Lone. What's up, man? This is me all over. I had this. Super.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good, man. I'm so blessed. This is a blessing. I get a chance to see myself in your numbers and wish I had the power of leadership up front and the power of business right now, but this isn't serving you. This is serving everyone else but you. So what I would do is follow in my footsteps. If in case you're okay to take it, I'm just looking at TM. It's not showing up. Can I take a look, Lone TM fan? Can I just see, is that actually going to be something that works in case there's a value in there? So we're just going to go TM fan. And it is. That's what you do. Okay, so instead of taking the F or the X, you would take TM. Wow, just like me, man. You take your middle name, and suddenly you have a value in there that's authentic. You got to love the vibe of this, that you were sitting underneath it. Like for me, it was like, man, where you been all my life? And now it's just like it was right there, just like a few steps over. In case you're feeling another one of the letters, like you're like, nah, mate, I got to go for the H, the Q, or the Z. You let me know right now, but this thing, I seen the pics with your kids, man. I know that you're a family guy. I know that you have love on the mind as well. So I don't know if you found the love of your life or not, but this thing will service it absolutely wonderfully with Lone TM fan. Any thoughts, any comments or questions?
Just wondering what the O was like in the first section.
So you had an O here, Lone O fan. So the value of leadership, independence, ambition, and balance between love and money. So it's got an entry point into wealth, whereas the higher one, TM, has a mastery point into wealth. So the difference between TM and O would be fun and seriousness. The 156 would probably be more applicable for 2019, I guess. And then the bigger one would take you forward. If I had known that when I was a kid or when I was a baby in numerology, I probably would have thought, let me take a fun number until I get to the serious side, and then I'm going to jump into my seriousness. I didn't do that. I was just like, I can't stomach a letter that's not part of my name. I need authenticity. So I needed to have the F because it was there. But in your case, you fall into that, or take the O if it feels like a bit more applicable. But what pulls you?
The O.
Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to run with Lone O fan, and this feeling is going to be there to create a sense of leader, a sense of passion, ambition, and also a good sense of balance between love and family. So it's going to be a fun ride into business. You may at some point step into your true form as like an all-star. Right now, I would say that this is going to be a fun year for you. Okay, so absolutely, let's run and let's hustle to 6A, and you'll run it with your heart. But there's a value of leadership in there that can't be matched. Born in October, it's going to feel like coming back to your youth, where you were super independent and a very powerful feeling. I'm just going to go and do stuff. That sensation of one shows up in there, and having it in a name right now is not a bad look. Okay, if you change your mind later, you let me know. Or if you feel like it's not the right fit, let me know. But are we cool with Lone O fan?
Yep. Awesome, brother. Thank you.
Excellent.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're very welcome. I appreciate you. So how about Kate? So now Kate is dealing with an interesting situation. As we come to the end here, we've got, again, remember that warrior, and then now there's the really hard-working side of you, and then your name, Kate Crowcap, is not aligning to communication. The 7 will keep quiet, the 2 will make a connection to the idea, and the 9 goes off into Pluto forever. It's stuck in your head. There's no sense of connection back to the communication of stuff. This thing will keep you overwhelmed with the feelings and the emotions and the intuition of others. People want to talk to you, but you going live, finding your own voice can feel a little choked. So what I would do is I would probably add, let's see, what do we have here? The 7, 1, 8. If you're like, I like to keep it. Actually, no, the F or the X. That would be the way that I would run it, to take a Kate in there and basically says Kate F or Kate X. Crew count keeps you quiet. The 7, still there, nice and calm. But now instead of the connection that goes off into forever, we have the business that comes out into leadership. So we absolutely get a chance to level that thing out. Any thoughts or any questions on this? Unmute. See, look, she got the 7 too far in there. Can't hear her. Let's just unmute you. Actually, it looks like you're not even muted, but at the same time, I still can't hear you. So can you connect to your audio or turn your volume up? Could be plugging the headphones. Not sure where that shows up. But you can obviously hear me, but we can't hear you. You could dial in from a phone, or if you want to talk, or you could type it in the chat. But man, that 7's just really attacking us right now. So I mean, I'm not sure if you want to move it out or if you want to type in the X. Okay, cool. So let's talk. Let's take it. There you go. Kate X Crowcamp. So as this works, we're going to take you into a much more defined sense of wealth. Now, Kate L Crowcamp, 6-figure mummy. Okay, don't want KFC. Okay, so what we're doing is we're definitely going to take the KXC, okay? So, hey, what's wrong with KFC? Actually, everything. So what we'll do is we're going to talk about, yeah, okay, so this is it with the X in there. You can see that. And then what we'll do is we're going to delete this. But what about your business page? This is a tough one because 6-figure mummy is a really powerful vibe, but the problem is that it's not as powerful as the 988. My business page was always 6-figure mummy. So what about like this? Now this comes into a valuable feeling that you guys may have. Okay, so 6-figure mummy. Let's do this. How about mommy? Okay, so 6-figure mommy instead of mummy doesn't sound as cool. It sounds more like I'm complaining to my mommy. So mummy sounds more fun. But the problem is that 6-figure mommy with an O will get you the passion moving around business that shows up right here. So 6-figure mommy, like that, okay? So it really does help and move forward, but 6-figure mummy will need something else, and in which case, we've just ruined the feeling of what that, because it's gonna be like 6-figure mummies or 6-figure C mummy or 6-figure mummy with 2 U's in it. Like, it doesn't make sense. It just ruins it. So what about 6-figure mummy? It kind of works, but it's like a little bit missing. So in case of a name like this, and you're like, yeah, but shit, I love the name. This is awesome. I don't want to give it up. Don't think Facebook will allow me to change the name again. Here's some options. Oh yes, that was 6-figure mama. How about that one? That's cool. Who was that? Roxy? Cool. Maybe it might work. It may fit with you. Doesn't quite. Hold on. Let me just try this. There you go. 6-figure mama. Thank you. Okay, so we have, instead of mommy, we've got mama. Okay, so this one works really well. But at the same time, it's just not as roll off the tongue as 6-figure mummy. That feeling just, it has a feel to it that actually works. Is it? No, but the thing is that it says Kate L Crowcamp 6-figure mummy. So that on its own is a vibe. You could take 6-figure mummy has been my brand for 5 years. So do I drop it? Up to you. Really, honestly, like I added my name when I joined Gaz. Gaz is a new business. So you've had a business name from the past. If we're trying to rehash it into the future, I would say this sets you up for the next level of success. Also, 6-figure mummy you could use as the second or third string in your business conversation. If I came up to a party and I said, hi, I'm Bobby at Perryhar, Spiritual Diagnostics. I'm Bobby at Perryhar, numerologist extraordinaire. You'd be like, okay, if you came up to me and said, Kate L. Crew Camp, six-figure mummy, nice to meet you, it would sound a bit strange. Whereas if you take a name for your brand, you are the public figure. You could have six-figure mummy as the tagline. You could have six-figure mummy as the logo. You could have it as the name that you show up with when people get a chance to see Kate X Crew Camp. And then the value underneath it, separate from that name, says six-figure mummy. That will work, but it's all up to you. This one doesn't need to be lined up. In case you do want to line it up, you would just change the L down into, let's go Kate's Crew Camp. And let's say you're like, wow, I want to keep it. I definitely want to do this. It'd be Kate J or Kate S, okay? Or even just like Kate Crew Camp, six-figure mummies, okay? So there's a value of team in there that will really move things forward. Or Kate S or Kate J Crew Camp, six-figure mummy. So there's a value inside of that. Unfortunately, it doesn't match the same power as this, but it does put you in Master Woman, which does actually speak to six-figure mummy. So putting that J or S somewhere in there will absolutely align your business to six-figure mummy. So consider that if you want. Do you want to, so sounds good. So I need to try it and change the name with Facebook. So not X again in my business page. I would suggest you just do this and you drop the six-figure mummy and you just show up as a name. Because remember what I said, guys, when people see extra words on a sponsored ad, they're probably thinking, oh God, I'm being attacked. The internet knows me. It knows that I clicked on one of these stupid ads once, and now everybody's trying to sell their thing to me. And this will be an indicator for that frustration that someone else has already entered their space, and now you show up as another person that they want to uncheck, unsee. So I would suggest dropping it completely, but I would value the fact that it is there. It does work numerologically if you're ready to get super freaking serious and turn into a 7 or 8 figure mummy. But the value of wanting to be a 6-figure mummy, if it's not there yet, there could be a missing gap in the ladder to think, well, I want to go to the top. There's no elevator or stairs in this building. How do I get there? Well, you got to learn how to jump that high. So that could take you some time to get it. But J or S, this is the value now that shows up. You don't have to change anything. It'll just be Kate J or Kate S, and you're back into the mix. So up to you. Do you want to leave it? Do you want to change it to J or S? Do you want to change it to Kate and drop it? You can think about it. Sounds good. J. Okay, cool. So we're going to leave it like this. And now you've got a balance between two things that will absolutely work on both fronts. Cool. All right, Trudy. So Trudy is now Trudy, a.k.a. Rufare. Is that how you say it? I know that this ware is a fare, but if it is or isn't, you let me know. Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, what's up? How's it
Hey,
going?
what up? Boom. How are we? Thank you so much for your time, first of all. You're amazing, and I appreciate you and everyone else in here.
Thank you.
Cool. So I was going to run with that because I had just changed my name like the other day.
Yep.
Because I just wanted to be more myself. But I'd be with Trudy, a.k.a. Rofari, work for both personal and I'm keen to run with the E.
The E doesn't. It pushes it over.
Right.
What we would do is we would be running a vibe. What is this? I keep doing this. It would be this doesn't work for that name. It would work for Trudy, a.k.a. Rufare on purpose, which I would probably take off. But you've changed your name now. It's actually a powerful vibe for 2019. So intuition came for you in a really powerful, strong sense. And also, it's your name. It's actually your name. So I would run with it on your business page and drop on purpose. But if you did put the U in there, or the E you said, it would be Trudy, a.k.a. Rufare. And we're going to just take a look at what this looks like. No. Don't put the E in there. Just we don't want to get into that. That's a no in business. But you'll want to do things, but you'll end up just sacrificing, and that'll be a really big situation. So, are you okay to change your name like this on for your business page?
Yes, sweet
indeed. Boom! Look at that.
Sweet.
You guys are lined up. Woo! This is a powerful feeling for me at 3:15 in the morning. So, what we're gonna do? anybody want to revisit this? I'm just gonna jump into the chat here. And let's just get here. I want to get some things that I've been missing. Where does MD leave me? I got you. Okay, Rachel, we got that, right? It puts you in the 876. What about, I wonder what the same with mine. Natasha, okay, I got that. Sorry, can you explain that? I love that I get to run 2 different names on personal and business page. It's exciting. You don't do the same things on your personal as you do on your business page, so that's a pretty powerful feel. I, on the other hand, do everything on my personal page. My business page is a ghost town, and I'm like, oh, I gotta spend money on this, and I gotta spend time on. Oh man, it's confusing. But definitely, you run the same name on both, and I think it would be a wonderful feeling. Thank you. Okay, my business. Okay, cool. Rosen, can you just clarify that the H in my name will be including family, but also moving into my powerful female energy queen? I want to stop self-sabotaging by over-sacrificing for everyone and running my own self-love and master manifestation powers. That was a powerful move to go in there. Let's just say yes, absolutely yes, a massive yes. Okay, it will be including family, but also moving into the power of your female power. It is absolutely yes. This is literally the most balance that you can have: power, woman, family, all of it. Just make sure your business shows up the same way. So when you show up in business, it better be a very loving family vibe that takes its time and grows its entrepreneurs, and it's not like a quick wheeling dealing feel, okay? So absolute long-term there, okay? Cool.
Yes. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Absolutely appreciate that. Thank you, okay? So don't think Facebook will allow me to change it again. No shame in start a new page. Split test it, okay? So absolutely think about that if you want to consider it and you don't want to start a new page, or you don't want to change your name, or you can't, start a side page and split test it. Anything, split test it, okay, guys? Kate, so I added it. James is good. Okay, good. Hey, Bobby, will Rachel DM Lee still work? How about this? Rachel DM Lee instead of MD Lee? Yeah, absolutely. Of course it is. Where are you now? The 4, it's over 4, will be sucking the living soul out of you. So if you take DM or MD, it doesn't matter. The vibe will still work. But so you can work that. P.S. The overthinking 4, it will. If you got a 4 in your chart, guys, get comfortable writing lists. Get comfortable writing lists. Organize your thoughts. Organize the things you have to do that day. What are you grateful for? Strong at this and that, all that stuff. Get used to writing lists down. It will ease and lower the pressure on that overthinking, over-analytical mind that needs to comb through all the detail. Once you're super organized, can feel really good after a good workout and a good feeling of a mental workout. Then the visioning side of you can take over. But Rachel, it's never far away from you. So you have to get used to that. That's your life path. You're not going to get past that. You have to honor that feeling inside of you. But you're very smart, you're very hardworking, and you're super intuitive kind of gal. So this will be DM. Let's just switch it so that you know that I know that I know that you know that it's cool. Okay, so this is it. So if you have another question, let me know. I'm just going to keep up on the chat. Ha ha ha. Yes, I am pretty funny, aren't I? Whoops, that wasn't meant to go up. My keyboard wasn't showing. I have to jump off now. Aw, bye, Rebecca. It was a pleasure. Absolutely. Hopefully you're still here to see this. But if not, then cool. Okay, Roxy, you have a please. Yes, quickly. Okay, cool. So we have some questions. Okay, cool. Hey, Bobby, I'm feeling TM. It resonates with me more. Let's go with that. Cool. All right. Step into your power. This is it, guys. It's all good. If you have oh, no, wait, it's here. So lone TM fan, okay? You can pull full stops on this. You can put full initials. It doesn't matter. Lowercase, uppercase, whatever needs to show up for you, it's all good. The reality is that if I put a full stop in my name, people are going to read it with a full stop. So I would probably want to just put my letter. I don't abbreviate it. People like Clint and Balaj did. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? And they're putting a stop in the middle of their name. I don't want people to stop when they're saying my name. But if you feel so inclined, there's a reason why I'm not doing it. You are more than welcome. If you feel like it needs to be that way, it needs to be that way. Why not? Okay, so Kate, oh yeah, right, we're going back here. So thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything. And me, please. So if you guys have a powerful feeling for questions, let me know. I'm about to offer some exclusive prices for you guys so you guys can work with me, but you have to message me to take advantage of them, and we'll absolutely do that. Hey, Bobby, I think I will take a letter. Are there any others? Okay, so besides GP or Y, not really, unless we're using Dan or Danny, or if you're going to take Erickson or Worthy one day. I would say if you're planning on changing your name legally one day, that the GP or Y should work for now. But if you're thinking about another letter, we would be thinking about 2 letters, not just 1 letter. So it would work with something else. We could also go Danielle Faith Wilkinson. If you want to just quickly try it and see if it works. Let's see if there's something in there. So Danielle Faith Wilkinson. Okay, so we're going to go Wilkinson. It needs something else. It would need a J or an S or an H, a Q, or a Z in terms of all of that. How about just Danielle Faith with would be an A? No, a J or an S. So Danielle J or Danielle S Faith. So something there. If you want to unmute yourself and let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to continue moving down there. But this is probably something I'm feeling that you guys are going to want to dive into deeper anyway. So if you want a placeholder, or if you're just going to say, you know what, let me leave it until I figure it out. Otherwise, unmute yourself and let me know.
What does it mean, Bobby?
So sorry, come again.
What does a P, like if I chose P?
This would put you into this vibration, GPRY 876. Power level of business that connects back down through spirituality into family. It balances you and evens you out so much that it will like burst open the heart, as opposed to the vision that just keeps on overriding everything. This one enters a large state of love. So I would imagine that Danielle P. Wilkinson, profitable, powerful, okay, productive. I don't know, however you want to link it up to your ego is fine. The ego needs to make sense out of this kind of stuff. I'm not afraid of the ego. I think it's a wonderful thing as long as it's not attacking us or others. But if you're feeling the Danielle P. Wilkinson, let's run with it, and then let's keep that until you're ready to take something else, okay?
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.
Danielle P. Wilkinson. Wilkinson. Now, welcome to the gun show. This is wonderful. It's all star from here. You hold the value of business, spirituality, and also family balance. Wonderful. Okay, just the numbers, please. And I have excitement for this feeling building inside since the name change. Feeling weird, and I love it. I love feeling weird. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate your time and knowledge. You are I teach this, guys. So for the more intuitive people who need to know what the hell I'm doing, I usually charge, what is this? I'm just going to make sure that all of this is nice and white so I can do some notes here for you guys. Usually I charge 26, oh, here, of course, and I absolutely didn't do it there. So I usually charge $26.99. This is a personal price. So if you guys need a group together of 10, between 10 and 20, it'll be $18.88. This is US. If it's under 10, it'll be $22.22. So there's an exclusive price for you guys to learn this stuff. It's a 4-day course, and we go deep. Okay, it's about 3 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day. So if you do want to master this stuff, instead of paying my full price, it'll be 10 to, I'm assuming it'll be 10 to 20 of you. It'll be $18.88 a person. Okay, and we'll have a wonderful mastermind. 4 days of just power inside of that, okay? But yes, very powerful. I appreciate that. I want this year to go off business-wise, but I also want to be a good mom and a goddess too. Roxy, let's take a look. This one will help you. And yeah, absolutely. We could take a look at Roseanne as well. So if you do want to unmute yourself and have a conversation about that, we can. How about, boom, Bobby, what about my business name? Trudy E. Rufari. So let's try that. Let's go Trudy E, and then let's just take a look at your last name. Okay, so Trudy E, where are you? We're looking at your name showing, here you go, it's right there. Trudy E. Rufari. So the E shows up, obviously that's probably why you're looking at it. The E shows up as master balance, but you would be giving up the A and the K to get there. It is the opposite end. So 516, right? We had A, K. So it may be very powerful for you to take a name like this in 2019. And then if you move it up and you're thinking all power, all business, all the time, looking at your life path, I can see why you'd be ambitious to want to do that. But you're in for a learning curve. Absolutely, this is a severe level of challenge. It's not just, yeah. I mean, even like Loan's next topic here, read the magic. Absolutely, not just read it. Eat the book, okay? Listen to it on audio. Do it every single freaking day of your life. If you're dealing with the bigger levels of 8, you need to understand the magic as a freaking science. This isn't like, oh my God, what's this weird thing I'm doing? It's like, absolutely, let me dial everything in on every single level. It's going to be a wonderful feeling, but a mandatory for anybody in the black and anybody who wants to do that high of a name, okay? So absolutely, can keep that into mind and consideration. You've offered incredible service with us. You're a legend. Absolutely. I love being called a legend. That's like an Aussie thing, hey? So that's really cool. I appreciate you guys. I love to feel legendary. So I'm overthinking now, but used to being Kirsten Lee Kilgore, so H is the best option. Yes. The H will keep you from overthinking and just run with it as long as it feels good. If it just stops feeling good, we need to do something else, okay? So just so you know, did someone unmute themselves?
Yeah, that was me.
What's up? What's up?
Kirsten. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking now. So
it's okay.
So that was the best option, wasn't it? Letter-wise,
you know,
it's in the green.
Just to make it easy on you, you don't have to choose now. There are certain people who will need to overthink about something for a day or two. I would imagine that's the one. Train yourself to say, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to say the name, and then it's going to come out to think which one it wants to be. I mean, you're hesitant on the H, it's probably because it's not the right letter. I mean,
I don't know, but I've already changed my Facebook page, so I don't know.
Well, whether you like it or not, Facebook is like, you're not changing that for two months. So see how it runs, and if it does take a value into a more valuable place after, we're cool with it. But
I think it's just the whole Kirsten Lee Kilgore, because I'm so used to being Kirsten Lee Kilgore, and I think it's what the ego is just going on about at the moment. But
that's okay. Yep, the ego is a very powerful thing you need to pay attention to, because that's your life path. You have these numbers inside of your name now, so it may take some getting used to, but you've already decided overthinking will only waste your time now, because you've already made a decision and acted on it, which was probably to your one nature, which says, screw it, do it, really quick.
Yeah, no.
The right one? Oh, crap, please tell me it was the right one. It's too late. Whether it was the right one or not, the universe decided for you. So you better run with it for now. And again, 2019, my top pick, yes, absolutely. Okay. So if it does need to evolve, we'll connect privately on that and absolutely work it from there, okay? So Natasha's saying also, I'll be able to help others while still in the black. I don't want to change anything. Tash, yeah, absolutely. Your whole motive will be to solve and cure other things and take a really large, powerful vision for the world, okay? Thank you for your time. I appreciate you, Lone. Roxy K. Stock. Okay, so we're going to do K. Stock. Okay, so we got here like this, and I appreciate you guys understanding that I have to get some rest at some point at this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 358 in there, but I'm absolutely so freaking committed to this. Trust me, I'll be awake with the sun in a little bit, so he does not go to bed at this time. Since you're all asking for extras, can I have a burger, fries, and a milk? Absolutely. Hell yeah. Can I have one too? Make sure there's bacon on mine. So Shannon here, my ego has rationalized my S with the at, beginning, middle, and the end balance with the S. Can we figure that out? Share? Yes, absolutely. Yes. Okay, I appreciate you. And yes, Rosen, it says, I'm Irish. Absolutely. Okay, cool. You are the boom, Mr. Bobby. Thanks, guys. So let's talk about this. We've got some options here that I do, right? So there's a 15-minute, which probably wouldn't really benefit anyone here. A 30-minute would. A 60-minute would. A 90-minute is a power couple session. I usually charge $88.88, and then for a 156 for 30 minutes, a 268, and a 333. These are US. Okay, guys, I know it's expensive, but for you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to 134. I'm going to go down to 222. I'm going to go down to 299. There's value inside of these prices for just you guys. Okay, so when you guys want this, you let me know. This isn't going to expire. You're just going to let me know, hey, Bobby, I'm ready for my one-on-one. It could be 6 months. It could be 6 minutes. It could be 6 days. Well, not 6 minutes. In 6 minutes, I'm going to be out of here. But in the terms of when we get a chance to connect with you, I just want to offer more value for you guys. I want to work with you guys again. I absolutely want to continue helping you guys out. Session 1, we cover you. Session 2, we cover where you're going. Session 3, we get that far. We talk about long-term longevity in business, an absolutely wonderful feeling of getting my team in order. You guys have grown. There's 6A, beyond. The game changes. The game changes when you have 150 sales or 110 sales or however 5A, 6A, you're no longer dealing with the same frustrations you were at the beginning. I just want to get started and moving past my limiting beliefs and my blocks. Now it's like, How do I motivate my chickens to become dragons? How do I get the people in my business to actually get themselves together? Well, this is a pretty good way of getting it done, wouldn't you say? You guys are all walking into business now like freaking like synchronized dancers, or like the Avengers, or like that the Justice League. Like how, well, man, so much value and power in this, guys. You have done me a huge service by allowing me to do this. I want to like just take a second to express how big this is. You have given me your business and your life in my hands. I promise to cradle and swaddle this thing into the growth it needs to. You can trust me. I will be here for you. I'm not going to run away. I'm going to be here with you until we see this thing through. I was a friend of Balaj back in high school. We were running an Enagic business. I found numerology. The whole thing exploded, and this is where we are today. I'm building my family because of you guys. You guys put food in my kids' stomachs. You think I don't feel eternally grateful for the fact that you guys shine favor on my wealth? I am so, oh man, imagine my life path. The feeling of like, man, I need to see you guys successful. If I don't, I'm not doing good in my life. So I appreciate so much. And please, I know that I'm not responsible for your success. I understand that you need to take this seriously. This is a business. This isn't a joke, okay? This is like you've spent thousands of dollars to be here, and it doesn't stop. It's continuous. So please take that into consideration. Within the next 20 minutes, all of you guys are getting written reports. This is the other part, the continuation. When you book a session with me, we do this over time, and then you get a written report that's yours to actually move forward and talk about yourself, your birthday, your life, your this, your that, your future, your past, the next year, all in calendar. You guys are going to love this. I'm going to do this in order. I'm going to message you guys now, and you guys are going to be like just astounded by what comes up next. We're going to keep the group mastermind going. If anybody wants to use that for accountability partners or sharing their wins or becoming powerful around it, I will absolutely be offering things inside of these groups in the future. If anybody has like questions, comments, reach me offline. Ownership of your own life, absolutely worth saying out loud. Whoop, whoop, worth saying out loud. I'm usually skeptical, but I'm not with you. I just know and feel safe in your hands, so thank you. Absolutely, thank you, Tash. I appreciate that. Guys, it's been an honor, a blessing, and a pleasure to serve you guys in life and in business. You have no idea how much you guys honor me by this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask that you guys share this with your audience. Okay, so the people who out there, they need to see this. If you found value in this, I'm just taking a quick picture so that I have this. If you guys want to do like a fun, cool little thing, I'm going to be talking about this. And I'm basically going to be like doing a replay. I'm going to upload it. It's going to be to YouTube. You guys can watch it. You can take notes to it. I know this was information overload. It should be. If you're feeling spinning and you just like need to throw up, welcome to my side of the table where I just took on everybody's energy. Oh, I know I just need to go and like step outside and breathe, take the dog for a walk and get some rest. But thank you guys so much. Absolutely. We will see you soon. Anybody needs to work with me directly, message me. I'll send you a private PayPal link, and I appreciate you guys so much. Tell the world, tell your audience, guys, I just went through an alignment phenomenon. You'll notice that there's a letter in my name. I just wanted you guys to know it was a powerful feeling. It was 3:30 in the morning out there, and this guy's still at it. So there's a value of a feeling of paying it forward. Help other people find alignment into their life. It will serve you so much in your business. If you guys need me to do a group call or a webinar, I do them for free, and then from there I sell my private events. And it will be coming live, so I will be coming down there and doing some cool stuff for you guys in person, like live masterminds, like private masterminds in big houses where we just spend a week together. Oh, it's going to be cool. And a showcasing for you guys in your leadership. So I appreciate you guys so much. Looks like we've got some more. I'm hungry. Need food. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. I will see you guys soon when I see you. And stay tuned. The next couple minutes, I'm going to message you guys, okay? Thank you guys so much, and we'll talk to you guys soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.